take it a little slower. Wake up,
I'm a different kind of cop.
I don't wanna do your dirty work no more.
We're live. Now we're pre-recorded. That's a lot. I'm in hell. I'm at the point where I was hoping that I wasn't. That's actually a full lie. That we had like an Oz that I just didn't care week to week. No, I really would not like that. But I'm at the point that 3 episodes a week or 2 episodes a week is just not cutting it. I'm foaming at the mouth right now. Just finished Field fresh right before here. Let me tell you, I'm just gonna call the race right now. Pete being redeemed, season finale being better than Breaking Bad. I'm just gonna give it to Matt right now, because let me tell you, it's pretty close at this point for me. Shield's a really good show. I said their season 5 was pretty good too. Pete's never getting fucking redeemed. Pete's horrible. Like Pete's just terrible in general. We have a banger episode though. As somebody that hasn't seen any of these, but like what we get to cover tonight, all 3 seasons are firing on all cylinders, except the giant flat tire in my season. And it's only the first episode, so I won't have to spend much time on that whatsoever. Mark, how are you? How was your viewing experience? He already ate his dinner, so he is going to be less grumpy. Or he might have more. Who knows?
No, I'll get some after. I had to at least try out the meat that I had and get over there. So,
Smoked meat, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I want to make you say it. This is like I'm just gonna agree with what you said, at least on the tone that this is a great week. This might be like I think one of our just best weeks in general. I think the next closest one I thought was whenever we got to the penultimate episode of last season where things were just going all cylinders. But like I'm itching to talk about it. It's greatness, all 3 shows.
Matt, how are you? How was your viewing experience this week?
Doing good, dude. I'm just gonna stop. Did some stuff happen this week? But yeah, no, I think
count went up. That's all I'm saying. Kill count went up.
Like
this show went up. Main characters went up.
This show has been a challenge for me this season because your guys' shows have pretty much been like out the gate, just like some of the best television there is, and I was like, I just gotta wait till season 5. And then I'll be able to hang with the guys. But we're finally here. Like I said, it's just great stuff. I can't wait to talk about it.
I wouldn't say that me and Matt are very opposed on movie taste all the time. Like I think there's a good overlap between our film tastes. But when he brought up The Shield and I looked up the poster and looked up that first episode alone, I was like, what cut rate fucking cable television show did he pick for us? Police procedural that's more police procedural than The Wire. And I'm like, what are we doing here? And then even in their slow seasons, they were low for us all the time. It has just been progressing up and up and up this entire time. Like the payoff, like people use that when I said something off call. My favorite episode of the time we've done the show is this week, minus Breaking Bad. I'll just say that minus Breaking Bad because Breaking Bad I think I've saw it before, so it doesn't even count. This had one of the episodes in, and they talk Breaking Bad slow. The Shield is uber slow overall, like for its progression. It's pretty paint by numbers for the first couple seasons, but the moment season 4 happens and onward, I looked at Matt. I said, "There's 2 more seasons of this. I don't know how you stretch this 2 more seasons at this point in time. Like tensions were at the all-time high, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, my viewing experience is great. Teaser for season 2.2, whatever, the second part of our season. I will have the teaser next week. I lied. It will be at the start of season 6, episode 1. I will drop the intro to let you all know. I think all 3 shows that we are doing are HBO.
Yes.
So all 3 are
Yeah,
on
TV Chronicles.
all 3 HBO, not sponsored. Max, HBO Max, HBO Go, HBO, whatever they call themselves. All on HBO. So that's your little hint. And I would say that they are all this shorter than all the seasons we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Doing a lesser episode at the end of this. So, but I'm interested to see those all that I have not seen. And there's a show that me and Mark have not seen. Like, we are completely blind to it, so we'll get our raw reactions to it. But we're going to take us to the barn, which I think is sacrilegious. I'm being real honest with you. I think this show has no business going first this week. But we've been in a groove forever, and I know I will screw up the time codes if I switch the order. So we're going to keep it right as we are. So, but this has no business being this should be the end show for sure. But take us, Matt.
All right. Yeah, and like I told Cody before we started, it's only 2 episodes, but a lot happened. I got about 3 or 4 episodes worth of notes here, so bear with me. So yeah, episode 10 of Mice and Lem.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt a lot. I just want you to
know. So yeah, we start out. Lem's not doing great. He's out of jail, but his ulcer's back. Kavanaugh's still on his ass. Vic pays Kavanaugh's ex Sadie a visit. He pretends to be Kavanaugh's friend, just kind of checking in on her. They kind of start making out at one point, and you see this evil smile come on Vic's face as he then continues to have sex with her. So, yeah. Then Vic...
Crazy. This is like a joke that you say in middle school. Like, I'm gonna sleep with your mom. Like, I'm gonna do something else. Like, no, he slept with your ex. Like, he went right to it and did it. Like, I was like, this goes way below. Like, this is no longer work. This is personal shit. Oh, argument for bad guy of the week. I know I discussed off camera. There's a discussion for one of these characters' efforts for bad guy of the week.
It's going to be a long discussion this week. I feel like we got a lot of candidates for a lot of shows. But yeah, so then Vic, he goes and meets up with the strike team. Lem tells them that he wants to make a deal. If he pleads guilty to the heroin and closes off all of Kavanaugh's leverage against the guys, so they'll have nothing else on them.
Which takes us back to when Shane's like, take one for the team, and we're all like, Shane, you're a fucking dick. And then he's going to do it in this point. I was like, all right, Shane, you're justified. Like, fucking follow the sword, brother.
Well, that was back when they thought they had options. The lawyer tells him he would probably only go to a medium security prison, not with Antoine, and probably get 5 years, out for parole, maybe 18 months. So that doesn't sound so bad. Vic and Shane, of course, don't want him to do it, but Lem wants to protect the team. But Shane tells him that he probably won't get parole because he's going to be fighting for his life for those 5 years. But Lem's made up his mind. Vic goes to visit Antoine. Antoine tells him that he will decide Lem's quality of life regardless of what prison he ends up in. But he wants to make a deal with Vic. Antoine is bringing Kern Little back, our friend from previous seasons, to run the diners on the outside. And he wants Vic to help Kern rob the police warehouse where all the seized goods are being held.
That's a lot more than just an escort. Yeah, like, he just tells them that, like, he's not wrong. Like, you have to be... I just have this small little project for you. No, you don't. That's just, like, full-fledged, like, old shield behavior.
But yeah, so if Vic does that, then in exchange, Anton will keep Lem safe in prison. So they meet with Kern and his crew, and then that night they go ahead with the robbery, and everything's going great until a couple of the gang members kill the guard and Kern Little. They say that this was Antoine's plan all along, and if Vic and the guys don't go along with it, Lem's protection is gone. So Vic just tells them to grab the safe and get out of there. Kern wasn't completely dead yet, but they pretty much just have to leave him to kind of die as they go away so they can call for backup. Kavanaugh and Billings show up to the warehouse after they've been called in. Kavanaugh can't help but notice how similar this looks to Terry's crime scene, and then he kind of talks through a hypothetical scenario about what happened, which he pretty much nails it. Vic responds that Kavanaugh doesn't have anything on him, and then provides an intimate detail about Kavanaugh's wife and some sweet butter.
I was like, yeah, say it. Say it exactly as you said it. Sweet butter, you're disgusting. Like, I've never heard of a grosser explanation in my life. And I'm telling you, if we mix up this week's and Mark brought the Texas Roadhouse and butter, I don't know if he's finished.
Oh, that would have been perfectly themed. So yeah,
Get us a sponsorship, please.
Kavanaugh goes to see Sadie, and she confirms that she did have sex with Vic, who she said she thought was his friend and stuff. Then we got Lem comes to see the guys, and he tells them that the chief of police has signed off on the deal, and he's going to turn himself in tomorrow. They kind of hug it out and let him know that he'll be taken care of. Kavanaugh visits the strike team at the barn, and Len informs him that he cut the deal with the DA, which Kavanaugh is a little shocked by and upset. Then we have the assistant chief of police comes in and asks Kavanaugh to clear the office for a moment so he can talk to Billings and Claudette. He asks Claudette about her lupus and says that she should have told the department, and he's going to make her take a physical before she can go back out in the field. Of course, Claudette takes this opportunity to tell him about how Kavanaugh is affecting the morale inside the barn. And she also mentions Billings' ineffectiveness as interim captain and the effect it's having on the community. Then Claudette accuses Dutch of blabbing about her lupus, which he denies.
She doesn't have like these all-time episodes, but like I've never I will listen to her rant all day, every day. When she gets put in that position and he's like, yeah, your health and well-being for everybody. And she goes and shuts that door and goes, let me tell you, you put him in here that he doesn't have a backbone for anything. You have Kavanaugh scaring every officer that has to look over their shoulders instead of in the cases. Like, she just let them happen. And he's just sitting there feeling like, huh? What? Me? Like, why are you calling me? He leaves at 4 every day. He has no idea what anything is.
Oh, yeah, because Billings was all on her side when she thought about Kavanaugh, and then she turns to him. It's like, what?
I was dying. She's just like carving him up. He had to say one more thing, and she's like, all right, fine. Let's shut the door and let me tell you how I really feel. And he's like, is it Aceveda in there?
I don't remember he was in there.
I think it was Aceveda and the chief, and he's sitting. It's not the guy that shows up, an officer, the thing at the end.
Yeah, no, but that's later. Yeah, and
Aceveda's like, "Hey, that's out of line." She's like, shut up. She has no business or anything. Yeah, and then Dutch is like, you told him I had lupus? I would never. This is a character assassination. Like, no, motherfucker. Who else would have told her she has lupus? You're the only person.
That's what she thinks, at least.
Oh, and then he said, what'd you tell your little girl just to get a panties or whatever? Like, Jesus. Just hits him. She's phenomenal at this role. Like, absolutely great.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to get more of her, so the rest of the show. So, yeah. Speaking of Tina, Julie and Tina are at the scene of another rat trap glory hole. This time, I guess the rat trap had a serrated thing to it, so the victim kind of lost his dick. Dutch and Clyde show up.
Dutch is like, put that on ice. And I was like, it doesn't matter.
How do we know this was a Kurt Sutter episode?
Oh, is this one of his episodes?
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I heard
yeah.
the music. I heard the music at one point. I was like, "This has got to be the same guy."
I mean, he took something out of Saw and put it in the Shield.
Oh yeah, at the end of the episode, the music does play. It is his direct.
Yeah, he does the montages and stuff. But
Yeah,
this is
I
a
was
great
like-
one. But we'll get to
I was
that.
like, and I knew the rat trap was coming back because we had the before on the Shield.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that fat guy getting his dick on the rat trap. Oh, we're doing it again. Let's go.
But thankfully, Tina does find the missing dick, so they're able to get it on some ice. I don't know. We don't know if he ever gets it reattached or not. I guess that's good
Tune
luck,
in
guy.
to episode season 6. Turn into 6.
We'll
We don't
see. Dutch and Claudette question the first victim from the previous episode, and he helps them with a suspect sketch. A member of the Los Angeles Gay Men's Initiative comes to the barn wanting to know what they are doing about these attacks. And Julian does not handle that situation well at all.
I like that Billings turns right to Julian and goes, Julian, talk to him. I was
got
like,
this, right?
you pick out the one sport with the gay guy in the entire room to say you're it. And then they get into a physical thing. He's like, I need your like, why is he pressing on him? Like,
Julian has some issues with gay guys. I don't know what it could be, but yeah.
Tune into episode season 1 through 3. Somewhere, his wife goes somewhere.
I love to say he got married in season 2, but
and divorced apparently in season 3. We don't even know. She doesn't exist anymore.
But the guy does end up helping Julian and Tina find the suspect, and they arrest him. Dutch and Claudette question him. Dutch wants to bring the first victim back again to identify him in the lineup, but Billings informs him that they got a domestic disturbance call from the guy's home. When Dutch gets there, the victim has been arrested for hitting his wife with a bat. And he tells Julian this long story that kind of hits a little bit close to home for Julian, which he pretty much tells him Julian's story, pretty much. Billings tells Dutch and Claudette that their witness is tainted now. So if they can't get a confession, they will have to let him go. So they let Julian talk to the suspect. He unplugs the camera and threatens to use the jigsaw rat trap on him. And it works because he confesses. So that is the end of the rat trap storyline.
Oh, man.
Then the chief of police and the assistant chief of police want to talk to Claudette. They tell her that she has been declared medically fit for duty, but the chief informs her that duty will now be as captain of the barn. So, yay for Claudette.
You'll do the quarter on your dime. Just quick response.
But unfortunately, her moment is cut short when Kavanaugh barges in to ask the chief if he actually signed off on Lem's deal. He confirms and tells Kavanaugh it's over. Lem going to jail sends enough of a message, which Kavanaugh just loses his shit and goes
does
off.
a long 3-minute monologue on piss. Mine's a piss cake. Like, to me, like, what are you doing? Like, why? You're trying to make this a big deal. It's like, oh, he's pissing on it and telling you to lick it up. You're looking it up, like, what does it taste like? It's like this to me. I was like, this is the wildest rant I've ever heard in my life.
I think
that's how you get your way.
I think R. Kelly was in the news at the time.
It's gotta be. Gotta be.
I can see Kavanaugh listen to some R. Kelly.
100%.
Yeah, so like I said, Kavanaugh just talking about how Vic is pissing all over them, and he even says, "You know what Vic did? This morning, he slept with my ex-wife just to taint it and make this look personal
Did you
against
talk
him."
about him coming over to her house?
Vic, yeah, Vic sleeping with Kavanaugh's wife.
No, did you talk about when Kavanaugh shows back up at her house?
Oh no, that's yeah. He went by and she confirmed that she slept with him. And
just confirmed. She said I come twice. What? No, you didn't. No, yes, you did. Like, get out.
I was trying to spare Kavanaugh that humiliation.
And he's trying to melt down. He's like, you know what he did? He slept with my ex-wife. And if I was like Kavanaugh from the time, I'm like, bro. He's like, this is personal. Yeah, you're making it very personal. You might need to just, stop. No. And then what does he tell him? He's got 2 days.
He tells him you got 48 hours to tie up all your loose ends, and he tells him to get out of Claudette's office. So Kavanaugh has pretty much been kicked out of his little office up there, and he's got 2 days to kind of clear everything up. Dutch congratulates Claudette and informs her that Billings told the department about her lupus. She apologizes for not trusting him, but he's still kind of a little bit hurt about it. The strike team finds out that the safe was empty, and they are worried it's going to mess up the deal with Antoine.
That is the most strike team thing I've ever heard in my life. They do all this work, bodies die, they call it in, and then all of a sudden, nothing. So it wasn't even worth it.
No, yeah. Kavanaugh visits Lem and tells him that he shouldn't have taken the deal. He didn't want Lem to end up in jail, and he genuinely feels bad for Lem and wishes him good luck. And Vic, meanwhile, is visiting Antoine, who is not happy. Kavanaugh has already visited Antoine and told him that he knows what he tried to do with Vic, and that Kavanaugh has launched an investigation into Antoine's prison, which is going to make Antoine's life a living hell. In return, he promises Lem is going to be killed no matter what prison he ends up in, because he's got gang members in all the prisons. Oh, yeah. Vic arrives at Lem's going away party and sits the guys down to tell them the situation with Antoine and that Lem won't be safe in jail. They ask him, what are they going to do? And for the first time, Vic doesn't really seem to have a plan, and he kind of seems scared. Lem doesn't want to run, but Vic tells him that it's the only way to keep him alive. Vic promises Lem that he's going to make it work, which then kind of leads us into, I think, probably my favorite montage in the show, because it's got the Smashing Pumpkins song on there, and it just works perfectly. We got Claudette is moving into her office and sees Dutch and Tina flirting. Julian is racing Danny to the hospital to give birth. Kavanaugh shows up at Corinne's home and asks if he can come inside for a second. And then
what a dumbass montage.
Ends with Lem hugging Ronnie and Shane goodbye before Vic drives him away. That's the
dumbass montage.
That's a good montage.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good montage, like overall. But I'm like, oh, let's cut off some loose ends. And then when Kavanaugh shows off at Korea, I'm like, buddy.
That'll get you
just to show how inept he is. How inept. This next episode, what a pussy. Like, he sucks so bad. Like, listen, your ex-wife may be mentally ill, but you know what? She isn't. Like, it's just like crazy how this thing goes. Great episode. Overall, great episode. I think Vic's being a little paranoid with the whole situation of, like, I understand they don't want him to go to jail. Oh, Mice and Lem. That's kind of crazy. Next episode, that's kind of fucking weird.
Yeah.
But like, he's taking the fall. Like, at that point in time, just leave him to his own devices. Like, I think you're just trying, and they again clearly put the cart before the horse. Next episode.
But they're family. He can't let Lem go and do that.
Are they? They don't fucking care.
I mean, Lem could so easily take all those guys down if he needed to, and he wouldn't have to go to jail at all.
Yeah. But overall, great episode. I think Kavanaugh's just losing his ever-loving mind. It's just magic. Especially at the end of the breakdown of him sleeping with his wife, he's always at every like police thing. He's trying to get even with Vic. It's like this cat and mouse, but this fucking cat has no teeth and no claws and can't do fucking anything. Like, he works too hard for himself. So I think it's a great episode, though.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Every season of The Shield does feel like we're just kind of, it feels like the slow tightening of the noose.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like most other like it was there, but there was always always felt like there was a bit of a way out.
Mm-hmm.
And this season doesn't feel like there's a way out. It just feels like, they are very close to getting caught. They are kind of out of options trying to save one of their guys. And even though Vic is playing mind games with the other guy. Like he's still like he can still kind of put them all away like pretty easily and go into through some of those dirty tactics of involving Antoine. Like just it is crazy how things just spiraled into this last episode. And yeah, I mean, like just you mentioned all the other stuff, and we get finally Claudette as captain, and like even though like I'm sitting there thinking, like, listen, I know you only told Dutch, but like Dutch has literally had your back the entirety of the show. He's been your only friend for a large stretch of the show. Can't you just like maybe trust him that he wouldn't tell people you had lupus? I don't know.
No.
Like, I don't know. He deserves the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna be a defender of Dutch. He deserves the benefit of the doubt in that one.
Yeah, I think so.
You're crazy, but me defending the women, you defending the men. One shot.
Yeah, I won't defend other things, but like he probably didn't say anything about Luke. He didn't say anything about damn. You collapsed in the goddamn station. You gotta think they're probably gonna look at their fucking medical records at the police.
And you're leaving your medicine just in the drawer of your desk. We know people going through everyone's desks.
Yeah, wasn't there horse shit or dog shit put in one of them? And
Yeah.
we still never figured out who put the dog.
Oh. All right. So I guess that will bring us into our season finale, Postpartum. Kavanaugh really creepily tries to get with Corinne. Talking
That's
about
why I
how,
said there's a case. There's a case.
Talk about
This
how
man
maybe
has
things
no
been different.
Like, this man literally thought it was an eye for an eye. Like, this man thought because his ex-wife said yes, his Vic's ex-wife has to say yes too. Like, buddy.
Like
this is
Vic's
not
got
how
a
it
10
works.
charisma, and Kavanaugh's got like a 3 at best.
Like, buddy, you're like, she didn't look like it was just like he's just like talking to her, and she's talking about how lonely he is, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll make you some coffee." Then you gotta go, like, and thank God for her daughter. Like, mom, to go, like, buddy, you're not having sex with her. Like, it's not on the table. Like, it's, and then he apparently was just gonna try to do it like right at the door.
Well, I'm sure he's
It's
never
so
done something like that before. So, but
So
yeah, so Cody
weird.
says she shuts it down pretty quick, and then, like I said, the kids come
Wait,
out. So
you don't
Kavanaugh,
understand. Vic slept with my ex-wife, so like, can I sleep with you?
he didn't even
Like,
get
I
to
need
do
to
that
make-
argument. He should have led with that.
He might have had a better shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So then Vic races over and asks if Kavanaugh touched her, which she wonders why he would ask that, and he just tells her if he ever comes back, don't let him in again. The guys meet with the lawyer at the courthouse, but Lem isn't there. Lem they have hiding out in a trailer park. He's a little bit paranoid about everything going on right now. Kavanaugh talks to the guys at the barn and tells them if he finds out they helped Lem, they will all be going to jail with him. And Kavanaugh thanks them for bringing him back into the investigation. The guys have a plan set up to get Lem to Mexico. They just need to figure out how to actually get him across the border, with Kavanaugh keeping a close eye on all of them. Claudette calls the guys out to investigate the Salvadorians. They used some grenades on some DEA cars that DEA was investigating. They blew up a bunch of their cars. The guy behind the grenades last time, Guardo, he's still out on the loose, so they're going to be looking for him. Meanwhile, Lem over the trailer park hears a kid crying, and the good guy he goes off to investigate. He finds a kid who broke his hand on a broken milk bottle. He tries to help the kid, but someone walks in and sees Lem there with a gun and runs off to call the police. Lem goes and grabs his stuff and leaves the trailer park. Ronnie gets notified that there is a police call to the trailer park, and Kavanaugh is heading that way. Kavanaugh talks to the witness, who IDs Lem, so Kavanaugh is on his trail. Emolia, she comes back to the barn to see Vic. She says that she has intel, and Claudette tells Vic to work with her, but do it where she can see them. She tells them that the El Salvadorians have been hired to protect a huge shipment of drugs coming up from Mexico. She gives them some information about the shipment and how they can find out more. She had to go through a lot to get the information, but the guys don't really seem to appreciate it all that much. But they do follow her lead and find the guy who is receiving the shipment, and they make a deal with him to bust the Salvadorians, but leave him alone as long as he helps get Lem to Mexico. Lem then meets with the lawyer. He tells her that he needs help making sure that he goes to a prison where Antoine can't reach him, maybe somewhere on the East Coast. She tells him they aren't going to want to make any deals with him because he ran. And he tells her he will confess to robbing the Armenian money train to cut a new deal. She tells him that won't make the new deal work unless he gives up the other guys. He needs to start thinking for himself because he's pretty much just saying, no, I did it by myself. But she's beginning to realize just how bad these guys are. Claudette partners with Billings and Dutch together, which neither of them seem too happy about it. Vic goes to see Danny and the baby. Still don't know who the baby's father is, but she does say that she will let the baby know when he's old enough. But yeah, sure. Vic says he'll help her out if she needs any help. The guys see their lawyer talking to Claudette, Aceveda, and Kavanaugh. The lawyer tells them that Lem wants to turn himself in exchange for protection. Kavanaugh is against giving him a deal, but Aceveda and Claudette aren't going to help him out. The lawyer won't tell Vic anything about Lem. She's kind of pissed at him about everything that she now knows about the guys. Dutch and Billings talk to a victim who was attacked on the street. She isn't super helpful, but they disagree on how to deal with her. They end up bringing in a suspect, a cab driver, who says that she entrapped him and that her buddies beat him and robbed him and that he was just getting some payback on her. So they question the victim again now that she's a suspect in an assault/robbery. But her pimp shows up claiming to be a lawyer.
That was 100% a lawyer.
He looked like a lawyer. He gave a little lawyerly bow when he came in.
he was threatening a mistrial, so like he's up on his stuff.
Which, I mean, honestly, I could see why they were fooled because they hardly ever see any lawyers in this building. So they thought maybe that's what a lawyer looks like. Claudette, though, catches them having sex in the interrogation room. So Dutch and Billings go back in. They keep talking with her. And Billings kind of upsets her and she attacks him. And then they go and talk to her pimp. And he gives them some pimpology, explaining his hold over her and why she won't say anything about him doing any illegal activities. I think that's kind of the end of that case. She's going to end up going to jail for some stuff. Dutch flips out when he finds out that Billings owns the vending machines and has been profiting off the other cops. Dutch goes to Claudette and tells her that he can't work there anymore, can't work with Billings. The only reason he was sticking around was to be her partner, and without her, he's going to have to file for a transfer. Claudette asked Billings why he ignored Julian's recommendation to fire Tina, which Billings then had to go in and kind of tell her the whole story about the pictures and all that stuff and the deal that he kind of worked out with Tina and Dutch. Tina then finds Dutch and tells him that Claudette told her to increase the hours she's going to be working with Dutch. And he tells her that she better make it worth his while. So that's just a little bit on the creepy side for poor Dutch.
He's just taking the guy's advice. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Oh my god.
True. Maybe he learned some typology.
It weirdly looked like it was working. Like that is the craziest thing about that.
Nothing will surprise me with Officer Tina. Lem calls the lawyer for an update, and she won't give a message to Vic for him. She suggests witness protection if he tells them everything, and he tells her that he can't turn on his family. Ronnie thinks Lem turned on them for a deal, but Vic still trusts Lem, And Shane and Mara donated the money to help get Len to Mexico. Vic is just feeling guilty about his part in all this stuff. The guys locate and bust in to catch the guys with all the grenades and the drugs and stuff. The DEA thanks them and warns them that there could be retaliation from Gordo. Vic then pays Amolia a visit and tells her to take the money and get her kid out of town, that he's done showing her mercy. So I think that's pretty much the end of Amolia. Aceveda tells the lawyer that the new deal is 10 years if Len turns himself in, but all bets are off if he's caught. Kavanaugh, of course, not happy that they aren't trying to leverage Len to get Vic.
As soon as they say, unless he's caught before, bye. He leaves that room so fast. Like,
oh yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Kavanaugh does ask Aceveda, though, to lie to Vic that Len gave up the other guys to get a good deal. And then that way they can try to catch Vic trying to clean up the mess. So Aceveda tells Vic that Lem is talking and he is giving up the strike team members. Aceveda tells him that it's his ass too on the line, so Vic needs to get to Lem and tell him to keep his mouth shut. So Vic tells Ronnie and Shane. Shane says Aceveda could be full of shit, but Vic says they won't know until they get face-to-face with Lem. And even if he is talking, once he sees the protection that they have set up for him in Mexico, he'll be back on their side. Kavanaugh and his men are watching them, but they take separate vehicles, so Kavanaugh follows Vic and has his man follow Ronnie. Vic calls Ronnie. They both see that they have tails. Ronnie calls Shane and tells him they're going to try to lose the tails. Shane doesn't have a tail, so he's going to go get Lem somewhere safe until they can regroup. Shane goes to the meetup spot and tells Lem to follow him. They go to an abandoned area where Shane fills in Lem on the plan to get him into Mexico. Lem tells him he doesn't want to die alone in Mexico. He's done running. Shane tells him that they have a good deal set up for him in Mexico, but Lem tells Shane that he's going to just take the hit solo. Shane then tells Lem that Mara is pregnant again. Lem congratulates him and tells him that he hopes to someday be able to see the kid. Shane tells Lem that he'll go back to the barn and see if he can find Vic and Ronnie. He tells Lem to move his car out of sight and asks if he's hungry. Shane brings Lem some food over and drops a grenade in the car with him. The grenade explodes, but doesn't quite kill Lem right away. So Shane apologizes, telling him he had no choice as Lem is taking his last breaths. So Lem is no longer with us. Shane meets up with Vic and Ronnie at the meeting spot and tells them that he had a tail, but he was able to lose it. Ronnie tells Vic that Lem's not coming because he flipped on them. Vic tells them to go home and clean up anything incriminating, but Shane tells them no, they're going to sit there and wait. Vic gets a phone call. And then we cut over. Everyone is already at Lem's murder scene. Claudette tells Dutch that his transfer is denied because she needs her best detective on this. She tells him to start with Gordo, the El Salvadorian with the grenades. Tina just makes a scene at this. She's just out there just hooting and crying and screaming and stuff.
Yeah, shut up, bitch. Like, god damn. Like, you knew him for 6 months. Like, relax. And he definitely didn't talk to you.
I'm sure Lem talked to her. Lem's a good guy. He talks to everyone. Vic, Ronnie, and Shane arrive. Vic is just distraught and heartbroken. Kavanaugh asks Vic if he's happy now, to which Vic just charges at him, tackles him. They kind of tussle for a bit until Claudette tells the other cops to break it up. And then as Vic, Shane, and Ronnie are walking away, Vic tells them they are going to find whoever did this and kill them, as the camera slightly pans over to Shane. And that is the end of season 5.
Okay, I have a few questions. I believe there was an edit out of the show. There's a moment where Vic looks over at Shane. Shane has this look on his face, and then Vic just continues his business as normal, like doesn't start processing. I think there was a cut where Vic looked over at Shane, and Shane gave away clear signs that he's the one that did what he did, but they didn't want to pull the trigger at this point. I think it's shot well. Him trailing behind them. I think how he's reacting to the entire scene. I think it's really interesting because normally Vic is like involved in all this and knows the plans, and now he knows none of the plans. And then when Kavanaugh says, "You happy?" I understand Vic not wanting to go to jail, but I'm really surprised he didn't shoot him in the face. Like, I'm surprised he didn't draw his gun and kill him on the spot.
I'm sure he wants to do it with his bare hands.
And then they get into the most awkward, like, wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. But it kind of is situational. Like, they both shoulder ram each other. I bet Forrest Whitaker wish he's kept the weight on because he got trucked pretty hard. I love Claudette let him go for a little bit and then goes, I'll get them off each other, break them up. But my jaw, that's why, like, I talk to these guys about, like, I wish there was a live reaction to this. Because when Shane's the one that showed up, I went, fuck. Like, anybody but Shane. And I was like, okay, well, they're talking. And I was like, just ask him. I'm talking to my TV. I don't even know words are out of there. I'm like, just ask him. Ask him if he talked to about taking the deal, about the throwing them on the breast. The deal. Witness protection. Say any of that. He says nothing. He's like, I just wanted to see you guys. And then when he says that line, have you eaten today? I went, oh my God. He's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. And then not thinking the grenade was involved at that point. And him walking over and you just see his face. And they do such a good job of the acting on it. And he literally just hands him the sandwich and turns and you just hear the click and the drop. And I was like, I'm screaming. You fucking asshole. So I think it's such a, like, my biggest complaint with shows like this, or every show like this, I think that's what Game of Thrones, like, blew people's minds, but that was based off a book, is that it didn't matter who you were. You could go at any point. Like, everybody had an expiration date. Like, it did not matter. That's why everybody hates season 8, because there's no real stakes in season 8. So, like, that's everybody's problem. But when this was happening, and I was sitting there, it was just like, this character has been with us from the get-go. He has been ride or die with the family. He's now decided to take the ultimate, and he is. He's going to take, the thing is that Shane doesn't know at this point, but Shane can't risk, is he's not taking witness protection. He can't fall on the sword against Vic. So he's going to take whatever it is, but he's stopping the run. He's doing this on his own. It's not Vic sat him down and be like, hey, by the way, we'll need you 18 months, come out whenever you want. No, they're all trying to talk him out of it. He's the one taking it. And for him to die like that at the hands of Shane is crazy. But then for him to leave is, we're going to find out who did this, and we're going to kill him. And Shane, for that director, camera operator, whatever, to do a perfect of him tailing behind with, like, worried look in his face is brilliant. It was one of the best season finale episodes I've seen in a really long time. I thought Vic was going to be the one that possibly killed him. Like, I thought, like, that would be the storyline. For them to make it to be Shane is brilliant for the show. Brilliant. Like, yeah, fine, we'll take it out. Let Shane be the one to do it. Like, no, what? Brilliant. I was just like, I finished it 4 episodes before I created this link tonight. I was just like, if I would have watched this on fucking Friday last week, let me tell you right now, the Shield is done for me. I'm not doing shit. I know everything.
Now imagine watching this episode and having to wait a whole year before the
Kill
next
myself.
episode.
Kill myself. No, that's why most of the time. That's not my biggest problem on TV shows. I have like rules. If it spans over seasons, 7 seasons, see you later. I'm never watching it. Have no time, no business whatsoever. Some of these are like 22 episodes per season. Don't have time for you. Good luck. See you next year. And if stuff is streaming, I usually just wait because I can't do the week-to-week shit. I've done it with Game of Thrones. I did it with House of Dragon. I've done it with few and far between. But I lose my mind. If I would have watched this last Friday, this show would have been cooked. Because I'm like, I know everything. Sorry, guys. I finished it. Because I'm so happy I waited because nothing would have stopped me this week. And now I'll have to stop myself next week, but I have this buffer now, so I feel like I'm in the safe space.
I think you'll be okay.
What a brilliant way to do this season finale. And this isn't even the best season finale. Motherfucker, hold my beer. Like, that's crazy. That might be crazier for you to say. Because, like, right now, this is up there.
Oh, yeah.
It gets better. You guys want to watch it tonight?
Yeah.
We can do our own special break the show apart and just do Shield real quick.
Next week, we're going to have 20 episodes of The Shield.
See you next week, buddy.
All right. Yeah. Okay. When you do it, a couple things. I will say you should definitely not just watch it Friday. That's what I did, and I was just like, holy shit. It just had to sit there with that. It just had to sit here for the week with that in there. But also, I've been holding this in for a bit. I didn't even want to say it.
You're pregnant.
I knew Lem was gonna die. I knew Lem was gonna die. It was one of those things of when I watched it initially. IMDb used to be really bad with spoilers. When you look up the shows, they would tell you how many episodes they were in. So essentially, told you when people were gonna die. So unfortunate, but that's how. I didn't know how though. I didn't know how. I just knew it was happening this season. I was very curious how it was gonna go down, and I gotta be honest. I would have never thought, especially how the season was rolling and kind of how we got there. I never thought for a second it to be somebody from the strike team. But as the way the episode rolled out, as see Shane show up, I'm like, oh no, no, not
I thought Kavanaugh could have almost killed him to plant it on Vic. Because he was losing on everything accordingly. He was just like, they were going to turn against him, blah, blah. But then that didn't make sense. And of course, it was fucking Shane that pulled up.
It's just, and the scene is so good. It because even though Shane is the team's resident fuck up, he is looking for any reason not to do it. He is fighting throughout the whole time. Like, just give me something.
He's convinced himself he's doing the best thing for Lem, that he's going to save him from having to go to jail and get constantly attacked and probably killed in jail. And in his mind, he talked to Lem. He's like, we got the plan. We're going to send you to Mexico. And Lem just wouldn't do it. So he had no other choice in his mind. Walton Goggins was amazing in that scene.
And I think he's also seeing it as like protecting the team. Because he's also, because if he's going to prison for 10 years, at some point,
and he just told him he's about to have another baby.
Yeah, like it's, he is looking for a reason not to do it. Even though like that, and I also love the method. It is such a cowardly way to do it. Just the way, like, he just not even looking at him, just drops the grenade in his car and just walks away. And and Goggins just breaking down the whole time. Like, God, like there are very few death scenes, I think, that not only are just as visceral as that one is, but just incredibly hard to watch. And even though it feels like we were really ratcheting up to this moment, it does feel like it just kind of comes out of nowhere. just in terms of how it was delivered and like like just kind of how it happened. Yeah, I will say this was smart of them to do near the end of the show. I don't know how you keep this going for more than like 2 seasons, because yeah, this is a game ender for Shane. Like when Vic finds out about this, like that's fucking it. Like that's it.
Oh,
Like I it's
when he finds out. Oh, cinema. This is gonna be like Hank finding the book.
like
The two people that could have played Hank finding the book.
I mean,
You're right. You said something like they couldn't afford to get to my show. You're 100% right. They could not afford him, and to play Hank would be a lesser cop.
Oh yeah,
Would be a lesser cop in Breaking Bad. Walter would get his shit rocked. He would die. He'd punch him so hard that the cancer would take over and kill him then, like, not the punch. When he says, "Are you happy?" and fucking Nick turns around.
oh, just
like,
that look on his face.
He's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him right now. He's gonna pull his gun and fire a bullet in front of all these officers. He's done.
If it was just the two of them in the room and there was no one to break them up, Vic would have killed him.
If this was the series finale, he's killing him on the spot. Dead to rights. That's how the episode ends, with a bullet to his head.
I mean, I'm amazed he didn't discharge him right there. He showed at least a lot of restraint by not just going immediately at him.
He's like,
Yeah,
this
Kevin, I could have said you
motherfucker.
just assaulted an officer. You're under arrest.
He said, "What?" And then he just was like, "You happy? Oh, you repeated yourself? All right, bitch, it's on."
But yeah, the thing that really sells that the Lem death scene is that the fact the grenade doesn't kill him right away, so that he's just sitting there afterwards. He's opening his eyes, so he knows what Shane did to
this
him.
episode wrong. It should have been of Mice and Lem next episode. This episode should have been that, because it's like him, like, "Oh, thanks for the lunch, man. Oh, man, like, no, I wanted to see you guys this whole night," and then he died beyond the hands of Shane. Like,
I
that's
think that's kind
literally,
of
can I
keys
see
to
the
let you know where
rabbits?
they were going.
Can I see the rabbits? Like, done. That is the longest Matt's episodes have ever taken in the history of the show.
And it was only
so
2 episodes.
That's impressive. Mark, did you have anything other than that? Because good luck on your episodes too, because your fucking episodes are cooking.
Yeah, all 3 shows this week is crazy.
I mean, listen, I knew it coming in. I knew it coming in because I knew about Sopranos. Sopranos is going to be awesome. I knew my show was going to be awesome. And I also knew Lem was going to die. And like, I was like, if it's any good, like this, this could be like a 3-hour show. Like, I don't know. So can't pull it up on my iPad. It's annoying. I guess I'll do it from my phone. Okay, let's just
Oh no.
All right. Episode 11, The Other Woman. We're going into New York in the 60s. All right, we're starting out. Counts and Creative are hard at work on trying to get Jaguar. Don is with the team trying to come up with ideas. And the Counts is whining and dining. The Jaguar guy, I think his name is Herb. Yeah, his name is Herb. And he's like, "Hey, you know that lady Joan in the office? I think I'd like to get to know her at some point. Like, I think she probably want to get to know me." And then, like, gets to the point where he clearly wants to get to know her biblically. And like Ken is throwing out, "Yeah, you know, she's married," and then Pete's like, "Yeah, he doesn't care about that. Like, he's married too." Like, but well, like, you know, so they're like, "I guess," like, and he makes it seem like, "Well, if this happens, then you know, I can guarantee you guys get the account. If not, no guarantee." So basically saying either he gets to sleep with Joe and they get the account, or not, and they don't. So, you know, Kenny seems pretty bummed about that. But you know, here comes good old Pete. He brings it up to Jones. Yeah, he said either spend the night with you or we lose the account. Crazy if that would happen, you know, right, Joan? Like, like you know what? Like, kind of trying to bring
You're
it up
a
in a way
sick
like
fuck.
that. You
You're
know,
still
like,
defending this guy. Like, do you realize how fucked you are?
I mean, Shane blew up Lem with a grenade, and I'm still 50-50.
It's for the good of the company, guys. It's for the
Jesus Christ.
I mean, to be fair, other than Don, like most of the other guys are going along with it too.
well. Let's just say, like Joan is really not having it. She's not for this at all.
This is her best acting episode by far.
Up until this point, I'll say yes.
Yeah.
Up until this point, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Megan nervous about an addition. I'm not sure what that was. I guess I already brought that up. Peggy is also dealing with all the day-to-day stuff while everybody's dealing with Jaguar. She also helps at least bring in another business. I can't remember what the thing was, but she was able to come up with something on the spot and then call. Pete then brings up the Jones situation with the rest of the partners, and yeah, Don doesn't like it one damn bit. He's like, "No, we'll win it with the work alone. We don't need to do it," and he storms out of the room. And then Pete sitting there is like, "All right, well, we know Don's a no, but like, how the rest of you guys feel? Let's take the temperature of the room." And the others are like, "Well, like, I mean, did she mention like there was a number?" And Pete was like, "Well, maybe we come at her of a big number. Like, maybe she'll do it." It's like, "All right, what about 50K?" Like, I don't know, maybe. Let's see what we can do. It's like, "All right, bring up 50K to her, and then we'll go from there." So they're thinking of negotiating with Joan a little bit on whether or not like what's like the right number for her to sleep with this guy for Jaguar. Don then after leaving that meeting is kind of frustrated with Jaguar. He's kind of he's kind of reeling a bit. Peggy then comes and starts like kind of complaining to the county, and then he gets frustrated with her. Like he's like, "Oh, Peggy, you want to go to Paris? Go to Paris," and just throws like money at her face, And then
Also,
that sends her
Don had
from there.
Don was like, "There's 3 votes on Jaguar. Like, just let's settle with the 2 other ones and not the one like that wants to fuck Joan right now. Like, this isn't a prostitution ring." And then, of course, Don, not knowing how to read any goddamn room ever, he just throws money right in Peggy's face. I'm like, motherfucker, he's keeping all your other shit afloat, and you still have to be a dick.
And well, then after that meeting, Lane then goes to Joan to discuss the situation. Tells her, "Yeah, they're thinking about giving you 50,000." She's like, "What the fuck? Like, I told Pete I wasn't doing it." And he's like, "Well, like they were gonna see if this was enough money to turn your head." He's like, "Well, yeah, it's 4 times my salary." Of course, like I'm gonna think about it now. He's like, "Well, what if you did something else? I don't know. Like, what if instead of getting 50K, you asked for a partnership stake? Why don't you just ask for 5%? You know, like
Wonder
and
why he's
she's
offering the 5% stake.
It's almost like he's got like an ulterior motive or something about them Christmas bonuses. He doesn't want to use the money for.
Instead of some money. We hear the one guy keep saying there's no bonuses ever. And,
well, he's trying to help her out. He's trying to give her the
yeah,
five spot like the whole time. It's enough for a woman and child the rest of her life.
Let's see if he can
on.
swing that. Let's see if he can swing that.
So anyway, like he tells her that, and that the 5% at least perks up Joan, so she's at least very much considering that. Pete and Trudy then get into a fight about him getting an apartment in the city. She basically tells me, "There's no way in hell you're doing that. We live out here now, so you just keep taking the train, buddy." Megan got a call back for an audition and told Don she may need to leave for Boston for 3 months. And he's like, "Oh, tough ditty. I guess you're not doing that." It's like, "What are you talking about? What do you think I was going to do? Just stick around here all the time?" Like, "I don't know. Fucking maybe. I didn't want you to go to Boston." So she's like, "Fuck you. I'm going to do it anyway." And that, gets everybody, at least that gets them all upset. Joan then goes back to Pete, says she'll do it for a 5% stake in the company. And she gets a voting right on the board, and that is the only offer. We're not countering at all. And Pete's like, "All right, I guess that's what it takes. I guess let's go ahead and get it done." So like they agree to it. Joan is getting that 5% stake. She just has to go through this one really loud night. Ginsburg then comes up with the idea for Jaguar of something beautiful you can finally truly own. And that was the idea that Don was looking for to kind of get him out of this rut. Peggy then meets with Freddie and kicks the idea around of possibly leaving Sterling Cooper Draper Price. Like Peggy is starting to know, has been noticing for a while that not only is she drifting apart from Don, but also maybe it's time for her to move on. Like she can only go so far in this company as long as Don is there. So she's like, maybe, I got to get out of here. Uh, Don is then finishing up the work as they got the Jaguar meeting the next day. Pete tells her that, I think all obstacles are cleared in your way. And then Don is like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh yeah, Joan asked for 5% stake and we gave it to her. And now she's like doing the thing right now. I was like, the fuck, Pete? Like, why are you doing that? So he storms out of there. He heads to Joan's apartment to try and stop her. He kind of gives her, hey, it's not worth it. You don't got to do it. And she was like, I was under the impression that everybody was on board. It's like, well, they voted after I left the room. So like not I was never on board. So, she does appreciate his concern for that reason. We then go the next day. Don gives his pitch. He gives the sex pitch about this Jaguar car. Seems to go over pretty well with everybody. We get to see the kind of the as Don's giving his pitch, we see the snippets from the night before with Joan and this gross guy, and they're having a drink, and Joan is like, "Oh fuck, I guess give me two of these champagnes, just so that I get ready for this." And then of course she's laying there giving the 1,000-yard stare to the roof as he's
I
saying, "Yeah,
mean,
this is a beautiful
he
evening."
does ask. He does ask the most important question. I can't be. I can wholly contain myself. Can I see him?
I don't remember that.
He
Oh,
just
yeah.
sits there on the couch like, I need to see him. I'm like, all right. This is no longer about drinks.
And then, unfortunately, as we learned, even though Don gave the noble effort of going over to apartment, we didn't learn it was futile. She had already gone through with it. By
And
the
up
time
until that point,
showed
she
up.
thought Don was on board,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which I think is massive because she's like, when she sits there the first time and talks to Don, she's like, you're one of the good ones. Like, you really are one of the good ones. And like, has no idea. She had no idea when she did it. She thought all the partners were all 100% on board, which when that next scene happens is crazy. But go ahead.
Well, go forward. Peggy then meets with Ted Shaw over from CGC, and the meeting goes pretty well. And she goes in there. He's giving her the good sell. It's like, hey, I see you being an integral part of our company. And what do you think? What is your number you want to work for? She writes down 18,000 a year. He decides, you know what, I got a counter for you. What if I give you 19,000 a year? But this is only if this is your last. Uh, she does take the job, so she will now be going over to CGC or taking her talents over to CGC. I guess she'll have like the cap
He's
thing.
such a cheapskate too. Couldn't he have done the more baller move? He's like cross out 18, but like 20 on there. It's like just 19.
I mean, 19 is still a lot of money.
I mean, it's still a lot, but
He's not an idiot. That's what that would be overpaying. He had to beat it by 1,000.
I mean, it would have been 20 maybe if Don hadn't have tricked him into doing that, Honda commercial.
True.
Anyway, we then go. Where the fuck am I? Oh yeah, we see Don and Megan kind of make up from their earlier fight. He's okay, I guess. Or she didn't get the part, so I guess he was fine with it now that she didn't get the part. We then go to the beginning of the next day. Calls are starting to come in. Everybody's hearing about all the companies that are out. And then we hear Roger's line starts ringing. It's like, all right, bring all the partners in here. And then once we see all the partners come in, Don sees Joan enter the office, and they exchange the look of all looks. So Don realizes what had happened the night before. And they hear from the call, they got the Jaguar account, at least from Roger's story, it wasn't even close. Everybody's all happy and celebrating, except for Don. Don is not happy at all, realizing what transpired to give them the account. Peggy comes up to him after and says, "Hey, I gotta talk to you, but probably wait till after after all this, she's like, "Nah, I don't feel like celebrating. What you got?" Peggy pulls him to his office one-on-one. She tearfully tells him like, "Hey, um, it's been really good down here, but like I think I got to go somewhere else. I I wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for you. You've been really important to me." And like Don isn't taking it seriously at this point. He's like, "Oh, like listen, good on you. You finally picked the right time for a raise. Just got Jaguar. So like, like what do you want?" It's like, no, I'm totally taking off. Like, oh, you're taking off. Well, maybe we just pretend like I'm not like integral to everything that you do around here. Not all your ideas are my ideas. So then immediately gets shitty about it. He's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. I just want to go on and kind of do my own thing. And I'm willing to give you the 2 weeks. And Don was like, no, I gotta do 2 weeks. You're free to go right now. And they share uh, a somewhat normal goodbye, and then Don gives her the maybe one of the more awkward kisses on the hand you'll ever see.
Oh, I was so uncomfortable. Like, why don't you just lick it at this point? What are you doing? Like,
Yeah, so she then uh, quietly picks up all her things. Not Joan sees her walking out of the office, and we see her exit out to start her new career at CGC while everybody's celebrating the Jaguar win, and that
with a pretty
is
big smirk.
end of the other woman.
Oh yeah, great episode. I love the reveal where Don runs over there to try to tell Joan, "Don't do it, it's not worth it," and then the reveal that it's already been done. I thought that was masterfully done. Peggy is spreading her wings and flying away. I don't know if that's what that means for the dynamics of the show. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, great episode.
This might be the best episode of the Madden for me. Probably not best like overall like there's better moments
Mhm.
that happen, but like the acting, everything that rolls into it, I think is just next level overall. I think they just do such a great job. Oh, with especially Joan. I think this is Joan's best acting performance by far. Um, because like and that two-toned like that two separate scenes.
Mhm.
Because at that time we think maybe he saved her before doing it, but no, it was right after she was done. And she has that necklace on, and we don't know the
Mhm.
necklace until the effort. And then you're like, oh shit. And like she's kind of beating herself up in the mirror like after, and then Dawn comes in and her mom's like, you need to meet with him. And like again, I understand at that point why she wouldn't want to meet with her, because overall she thinks that Dawn's one of the people that agreed to do it. So I think that was what was weird. But overall, I think it's one of the best acted episodes overall. And then Peggy finally turning and telling Dawn to kick rocks. So, which you need to tell Dawn to kick rocks for a really long time, because like she has done so much for that company, and they just don't appreciate a fucking shit at all for her.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So, yeah.
especially this year, where like she has just been, she has taken a more of a leadership role in everything that she's, and it just feels like every time like she does something good, it's either met with
He
like
doesn't know how to say good job.
it, yeah, that it's met with indifference by everybody else,
Or Ginsburg
or
gets credit for it.
yeah, or there's like something that Don doesn't like, and he'll just flip out at her for like
Oh, yeah.
no reason.
Don's not a great boss.
Yeah, Dom's kind of a dick as a boss. Dom's a dick as a person, like if we're being real.
And no, I didn't. This at least this is at least around the turning point. I think probably of the show for me is just like this is around the time. I was like I could not believe like I was watching, especially, and this is something that's transpired over a single episode. Something that we didn't really get any good lead up into until like we just see Herb coming up. Yeah, like that redhead. I kind of think I want to get to know her a little bit better.
And Pete's like, we can make that happen.
Yeah, no
Well,
problem.
like
Well, he hears the phrase, he hears the phrase and is like, everybody else is like, oh, well, that's Pete's like, meh, maybe. Well, you never hurt to ask. Hey, Joan, you want to spread your legs for Jaguar?
I mean, he just wants to float the idea over, all right? Like, just seeing like what's gonna. I mean, it went about as well as
Doesn't
it
hurt
should have
to
gone, but
ask.
like, yeah,
Jesus Christ. You guys are scoundrels.
Maybe she liked him too. Who
Hear me
knows?
out. Hear me out. He goes on horseback, you know? He said he couldn't believe in women's suffrage being a joke, but he said, hey, you want to spread your legs? Not a big deal.
oh, all right then. I think that's a good place to head over to episode 12, commissions and fees, and we start off with Lane. He's gotten an opportunity to work with the 4As. I think there's some like accounting firm or something, like some for like prestigious club or something that they're now like he's getting the opportunity to work for because how he worked as their financial officer over the years. We then get a new partners meeting. Yeah, another partners meeting. Don gets a bit chippy in it when they brought up the commissions or fee structure. He's like, well, like I already said no to the fee thing, or you're just gonna wait till I leave and vote on it anyway. So like he's still a little upset about everything that's going on. Pete has some new business about the Dunlop tires. They're starting to get calls now, so things are at least kind of on the upswing at the company. We then see the Henry and Betty and the crew are going on a ski trip, but like Sally just doesn't want to go skiing. She's like, "Nah, it's not for me. Can't make me go." And then Betty is like, "All right, if that's the way you want to do it. Hey Don, I'm gonna drop Sally off at your place. We're going skiing." He's like, "What if I can't handle Sally? Too fucking bad. I'm bringing her over in an hour."
Are you
I wasn't
still
asking.
asking? Are you still asking? I'm not. Okay.
And as Don hangs up the phone from that very pleasant call, Bert comes in the office. He's like, "Hey, I was looking over this fee structure thing, and I was looking over our funds and thing, and I found this check. I would ask you if you knew about it, but your signature's on it already." And Don sees the check that Elaine had created to kind of pay off his taxes from before, and he's like, "Don't worry, Bert. I'll take care of this." And then Bert throws him a comment about being the good little boy while everybody's out running the company. And it's like, "No, I'll do this." He calls in Lane immediately and then confronts him about it.
I said no Christmas bonuses.
Lane tries to dodge it for a bit, and eventually comes clean that he needed this for.
Oh. Don undresses him. He says, "What? Oh, it's just this little thing." He's like, "Oh no, you can either tell me, or we can have the authorities. Like we can make this more permanent if you'd like." And how many times? What? How many of these are out there? Like he
Is this
just
the only
basically
one?
just it's the only one. I think this is one of the best acted scenes in Mad Men between the two of those guys.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
It was my money. I deserved it.
Hey,
It just starts-
Don is kind of a hypocrite. It's like everything he signs with the Don Draper name is pretty much a forgery.
Oh yeah, well we all know he's like, well, and he tries to get him on the same thing of like, oh well, think about the, remember you signed that one thing, like you just sign everything. He's like, motherfucker, I know when I sign a check. Like checks are different than fucking paperwork I have no interest in. He's like, I had to liquidate my funds for that $50,000. He's like, why didn't you tell anybody? Ask somebody. Like we could have figured something out for you, but instead he's like, it was only one time. I did not expect
he doesn't
the
mention
movement.
that he took out a $50,000 loan for the company.
Yeah, they go back. I mean, they go back at it pretty hard, and eventually leads to Don asking for his resignation. Lane doesn't want to accept it. He, kind of tries to back out of it. Like, listen, like I've done a lot for this company. I haven't seen any of the real credit for everything I've done here. And then, yeah, Don's just not happening. He's like, no, if a client finds out about this, we're pretty fucked. Like, we can't have embezzlement rumors coming out about us. In like Lane is begging him to reconsider. He's saying he'll lose his visa, and Don just will not budge. will not budge. Says, "Don't worry, take the weekend, figure out a way how to make an exit." Lane leaves.
He's not back. You're gone. Like, no, I can't trust you anymore. Like,
Yeah, Lane very sad. He makes a bit of a sexy comment to Joan. She wasn't having it about his thing, and he's just sitting in his office, just a drinking from that point. Don, feeling bad, goes to Roger's office to sulk a bit. And he's like, I'm tired of all this like nickel and dime stuff. When are we going to get to like the big accounts? Like, like he's talking about Dunlop, but I want some Firestone. Like, give me some Firestone, or maybe getting me in a room about like Dow Chemical. And then Roger's like,
I don't want Jaguar. I want Chevy. American. Fuck you.
And like Roger's like, well, I could get you in that meeting, but like, you told me not to. He's like, well, that's because that guy told me like we were on the outs because of the letter. It's like, oh, you're gonna tell that wax figurine like that he can tell you what business to go after? No, fuck it. So after that, Roger then makes a call over to Dow Chemical to set up a meet. He then goes to meet with Kenny to tell him about it. And all Kenny really says, like, listen, you can go ahead and do it. Just tell him that you made me go along with it, and Pete is not going to be a part of it. So we get it. Pete's not doing a single goddamn thing. Just make me that promise. And Roger seemed okay with it. They moved on. Don then gets home. Megan, because Sally showed up, and Megan was kind of upset about Sally just showing up. It was like, oh, how come you never fucking called to tell me Sally was showing up? Like, I have nothing fucking better to do. And then Don's like, yeah, I had a fire lane today, so I forgot about this dumb bullshit. He's like, oh, what for? He's like, I don't know, it's a bunch of fucking gossip or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. I just had to get rid of him. So, we then see Lane. He gets to come home from work. His wife is in the mood to celebrate. He's like, listen, like, I heard about the 4As. Company's doing good. Let's just go out to dinner. They go down the garage, and what do you know? She made a little purchase of a Jaguar car and just sitting in the space. Like, hey, why don't we go for a drive? And then Lane is like, huh. And just throws up everywhere out of both embarrassment, shock, also booze. Like, pretty much every reason you could have had to vomit at that moment, he used to vomit there in that respect. He then goes to the whole weekend, still kind of drinking himself into a bit of a stupor. He waits until I think of that. I don't know if it was like Saturday night or like Sunday night or whatever. He then gathers some materials, heads down to the parking garage to then try and commit suicide in the Jaguar car by carbon monoxide. But what do you know? The car won't fucking start. So he's sitting there trying to fiddle with the goddamn thing, figure out what it is. At some point, he just gets tired of it, and we see him head over to the office. Seems to be typing up something, getting some work done overnight at the office. We then see.
You can say he gets work done.
Well, he's doing some work. Like,
He's just hanging out overnight. That's all.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Sally then talks to Glenn over the weekend. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the apartment all by myself on Monday. You should come visit me." Glenn is like, I don't know. It'd take me a couple hours to get down there, but yeah, sure, why not? Like, we can go do that. Heads over to apartment. They exchange pleasantries. They go over to the museum. They seem to be having a pretty good time, even though he did say that he told the other boys that he's going over to do it with her. And she's like, yeah, I don't think I like you that way. He's like, all right, good. Just as long as we're in agreement on there. Sorry about doing that. And then Sally is like, got a bit of a stomach ache. I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Then goes to the restroom, and turns out she just started her first period.
Aunt Flo came to visit.
Yeah, so all those hormones just got everything going. Is that how it works? I don't know. She's a little bit in Dutch there. Don then gets his meeting with Dow Chemical, and he gives probably honestly one of his better, but is futile speech, if you will, because he gets in this whole thing is like, listen, like you're happy with like having 50% of the market. You don't want 50% of the market. You want 100% of the market. I won't stop till I give you 100% of the market because because you think you're happy. What's happiness? Just a moment before you need more happiness. Like he goes on his best rant, thanks him for his time, and of course doesn't fucking mean shit because there's no way they're getting Dow Chemical to begin with. Uh, Betty and them are back from their trip, and they see Sally run into the house. And Henry's like, "Man, the fucking cab guy came and showed up with Sally. He's got a $25 cab trip. What was that all about?"
Which is crazy. I bet that even $25. That's a whole long amount of money.
And then
Also, what a fucking shitty cab driver! Like, you're gonna trust a child to be like pay the fare? Like,
Yeah, you should have just left her in the street.
amen. Life lessons: play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, she Betty goes, sees what's wrong with her, says, "Yeah, I started my period." It's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just chill out here. We'll deal with this. Don't worry." And like Sally gives her a hug, and like Betty and Dunn does exchange like kind of this motherly exchange. She gets to be a
And
good
then
mom.
her heart grew 3 times that size. The Grinch is not a monster anymore. Her daughter showed affection.
She needed me.
Oh,
Yeah,
feelings. Yeah, that's what I thought she was going to say.
yeah. Everything is good. Yeah,
I'm not a miserable bitch anymore.
She didn't go to Megan. She chose to come to me.
Mama.
and although unfortunately, did seem like Sally did not tell Glenn where she was at. Because Megan made her way back to the apartment, saw the, hey, what's this bag doing here? Gets a knock. Glenn shows up like, hey, Sally here. It's like, no, who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm Glenn. Like, who the fuck is Glenn? As like, listen, like, I just need my bag, and then I gotta go Central Park. I still gotta write my paper. It's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, listen, I was here with her. We're at the museum. She took off on me. No idea where she is. I just want my bag so I can get out of here and do my paper. He's like, all right, let's just come inside. Like, we'll figure this out. At that moment, Megan gets a call from Betty saying, hey, she started a period, or she became a woman today. He's like, oh, okay. I get it. All right, I'll take care of this. Doesn't tell Glenn about it, because, I mean, Glenn's got enough shit to fucking worry about right now. I said, listen, you got to wait here. He said, you got to wait here till 7 to catch that next train. Why don't you sit here, write your paper? I'll take you to the train at 7. I don't need to lose another kid. It's like, all right, sounds reasonable. We then head back over to the office where Joan wants to leave some of these accounting materials in Lane's office, but he still hasn't showed up. It's like noon or whatever. And she's having trouble getting into his office. Seems like there's like something in the doorway. And Joan goes over to Pete's office where Harry and Kenny are there. He's like, I think something is terribly wrong. I can't get into Mr. Price's office. And Pete's like, let me just get over there and see what's going on. Kenny, and Harry look on in horror as they see Lane hanging from his door. He has committed suicide in the office.
D'Angelo could take some notes how to hang from a door properly.
I mean, he wasn't the one who set it up. Okay, like
those other groups go learn take notes from
D'Angelo's murderer could take some notes.
A British man in the 60s was able to finally figure out how to do it properly. These two couldn't even frame murder credit.
Listen, first of all, I don't know why you're bringing up old shit. Okay, that was like a fucking year ago. Like, I don't know what we're still on with.
Yeah, hey, I just want this on the record. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what we're going to watch. If somebody dies at a convenience store, too, guess what? A callback is coming as well. I just want you on record. If a guy starts his car and rams it into a pole again, tries to make the turn, I will call that back, too. So, old shit won't to repeat. But holy shit, I was surprised how they were willing to show that on like that was like, oh god, like he really looks dead. crazy.
I mean, it's AMC. They have The Walking Dead, where they have.
I
dead
guess that's
people on
true.
the
I
whole
just think like
screen.
zombies are one thing, deaths are one. I just didn't think like hanging. That was like
No, well, yeah, let's just get through this. Yeah, like they sent everybody home. Roger and Don return to the office. They have the news broken to them that Lane is dead. Don can't believe it. He's like, "Oh, what are we still doing here? Waiting for the coroner to take him away." And Don's like, "What? He's still in there? He's still hanging there?" And there we got to cut him down. Is and he gets Pete and Roger, and yeah, they see the unfortunate side of him just there. They find some scissors, they cut him down, lay him on the couch, and they see a letter. They see what seems to be a suicide note just on the floor. It just says, "To my fellow partners," and inside is just a boilerplate resignation letter, and giving no clue to why Lane had killed himself. The only person who really knows is Don. Uh, we then go back to Don's apartment. He's returned from a hard day. Sees Glenn. He's like, "Hey, who the fuck are you?" He's like, "Oh, you don't remember me, Glenn, from all those years ago?" He's like, "Oh yeah, Glenn. Yeah, okay."
Sure.
So he's like, "I was here." He then tells her, like, Sally made it back home. He's like, "All right." Whatever. It's like, anyway, like, what do you got to do here, guy? It's like, well, like, I go to school over down here, like, a couple hours away. He's like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll just drive you out there. Like, it's fine. And like, Megan doesn't know what's going on. I'll just tell you about it later. It's a hard day. And then he's in the elevator with Glenn. He's like, hey, why do things always turn out crappy? He's like, it's like, I mean, I don't know. Too young to be talking about that. Yeah, but I'm right, right? It's like kinda, yeah. Like after today, I'm not gonna disagree with you, kid. What can I do to make it up for you today? And Glenn must have told him, like, hey, why don't you let me drive your sweet whip? Because he lets him drive that car at least for a little bit of the way. And we end with Don having a somewhat fatherly moment with Glenn, having him drive his car back to school, and that is the end of Commissions and Bees.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid episode. I mean, Lane is a better man than me, because I definitely would have put a P.S. "Fuck you, Don" on that resignation letter.
I mean,
Oh my God!
Don's an asshole. Don is 100% justified with doing what he did.
Yeah.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Don gets so many second chances. Like when Bert
Don,
exactly. Like,
but there's a different perspective. Isn't what's his name? That hung himself? Lane. Isn't Lane the one that told Pete that Don covered his?
Yeah. No. I think Bert or
whoever. Somebody covered Pete's.
Or was it Lane?
It was Lane, because like he went up to talk to Lane about it. He's like, Don already covered yours.
So in that notion, Lane could have went to Don and asked Don, I don't have this money for XYZ. But instead, regardless of that, he decided to forge his payments to write the check and then never tell him and never pay it back. So at that point, you can't trust a guy that's literally going to don't know how long that is in a partnership.
What? I think he did pay it back. He said a 13-day loan. So I feel like he paid it back almost immediately.
He did pay it back, yeah.
So like,
didn't he still have something to pay back? He didn't pay it fully back.
Well, I mean, the $50,000 loan, the company's still paying that back, I think.
Yeah, that he took out.
Yeah. So Lane's not perfect, but Don could have handled it a little bit better.
It's not perfect, but like, the company has done nothing but hold Don's water for the past 5 seasons.
But
and
to be fair, if he reports anyone else's name, they would have fired him immediately.
Lane doesn't do anything.
Oh, he's the finance
Don
guy.
at least gets business.
He's the CFO.
And what thing did they have to clean up for him?
What do you mean?
That for Don. What did the company have to do for Don? So far, Don has told them to not prostitute Jane, and hey, when you steal money from the company without running the bias, I can't trust you.
I mean,
Seems logical
they
to
did lose
me.
that government contract because they couldn't do a background check on Don.
Well, that's a factual argument. They were going to lose Don, and he's come clean to most. He came clean to Pete about it.
Well, Pete found out about it.
Listen, Don has had plenty
and Bert
of
knew too.
Yeah, because Pete told Bert, or pretty much
Right?
made Don tell him.
Don has had plenty of cowboy antics that have kind of sent this company to the brink. He's been able to get away. He has been able to get away with it because he's good at his job. He
Are
gets
we
away
sitting
because he's
here
good at
in
his job. But that's
season
the
5?
only.
We're sitting here in season 5 and comparing Don to Lane. Get the fuck out of here. They're not even comparable.
I do like that we
fine,
got
but, like,
Cody defending
He
Don.
used Don's name. He used Don's name. He could have used Roger. He could have used anybody. He chose Don. So Don made the call. And he tried to lie his way out of it, so he doesn't really know how many checks are out there. He could have just lied to him.
I mean, that's fine, but like, he has had all these issues, and there's somebody coming in with a break. And if anybody deserves the break, it is fucking Lane. Are you kidding me right now?
No.
You're not going to give Lane the break? Are you
No,
fucking
because Lane
serious?
brought all this shit on himself. 1, shouldn't have took the partnership. 2, shouldn't have moved over. 3, should have went back to fucking England.
Not take the part. Was he going to go over to fucking McCann and just be a guy over there? What is
He
that
didn't
bullshit?
have the money to be the partner. What are we doing?
I mean, he had the money. He just didn't have the money for the taxes.
I mean,
Get the
he wasn't.
fuck out.
He
You guys are
he wasn't
crazy.
accounting for losing Lucky Strike. Like that
We're
was.
sitting.
Yeah.
You're saying of all Don's sins, this is where does it fall?
It's one of those things that kind of pisses me off
-12
Like,
because
I
like
feel Don should
it
feel
is so
bad about
avoidable. It is so fucking avoidable.
It's not
and like,
avoidable.
Lane
Yes, it is.
should have just asked one of them for the money. I'm
Correct.
not excusing Lane.
That's
I'm
the
not excusing
problem.
Lane. But
Lane
Don
didn't
could have
do
handled it
either.
a little bit better.
So Don says, "No problem, pal. Keep going."
he could absolutely handle it better. Like he's
How should he have?
he's not
should he
without
have?
fucking sin.
He
Okay,
could have
Don
taken
is
help.
not without
He
sin.
could have helped Lane get another job or something.
Oh, fuck off. My question
Like,
is,
I just don't understand after everything that people have
what
done for
sin
Don.
are
Why
you
can't
comparing
Don
this
just cover
to?
for Lane here?
What
Why
sin are you?
can't Don cover for Lane here?
He didn't shoot him in the head. He didn't kill him. He said, "You're just no longer working here," which he has every right to do.
It's just so hypocritical. Like I said, every time he
Also, I
signed
think why he
on
did it, and
paper-
it hasn't been revealed yet. I think why he did it is we needed another partnership open because I think he wants to bring Peggy back. If we're being real. I don't know if that's happening, but I would do that. As soon as Lane's gone, let's move on. But like, what sin are you comparing this to? His stuff with Betty?
I mean, Matt
What
brought
work shit has he done?
Matt brought up the whole thing of him not being him and how that's gotten in the company of hot water several times. And yes, I'm accounting like every time like he's kind of gone off the rails, especially in season 2 where he just fucking left and like nobody knew where he was, and they just
And we did find out that Don lied his way into the job in the first place.
Here's the question: if Don quit that job, is that company still around? No.
No.
If Lane leaves, is this company still around? Yep.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's his position of who he was. If this was Roger, maybe it's a different story. He's the finance guy. He's the guy that's in charge of finances, and sorry to tell you, Lane is shitty at finance. So you can't trust a guy that's going to rig your signature and fuck you over down the road because he's choosing you.
I mean, listen, clearly Lane is not shitty at finance. They lost 80% of their business and still managed to stay alive for 18 months.
No, I don't believe that's even the case.
Are you even kidding me? Like, are you? Are
Well,
we gonna
you know
sit
what? They've
here
never showed
and
me
talk
one
about whether or
ledger.
not Lane is good at his job.
They've
Are we,
never
is
showed
that
me
what,
one.
is that the argument that we're going to get into at this point? Is Lane good at his job?
They have never showed me one ledger that shows they're still above water. I think they are swimming.
What are you talking? Like,
He beat up Pete. That gives him some credit. Come on.
I give you credit. Maybe. And why is no one blaming his wife?
Yeah, she's not great either.
She
She's like,
literally bought a Jaguar, and
to
the
be
man
fair, like, he
lost
probably
his
doesn't
job.
like. He hasn't told. She's been dishonest with her this whole time too about their finances.
She's going with the information that she had.
Yeah, as
Like,
far as she
he's
knows,
just a
they're
compulsive
great.
liar everywhere, and we're just gonna think he's gonna be fine.
We're not excusing Lane. Lane made a lot of mistakes these last couple of episodes.
So how many mistakes did he know? Just Don lied about his stuff because he didn't want to be in the military? Guess what? If we're in the military and Mark dies, guess what? I'm a Hispanic man named Mark Menchaca moving forward. I want to get the fuck out of the military.
Listen, I think just the main point is Don has been such a victim of circumstance.
Are you going to vote for Don as bad guy of the week for the firing that leads to Lane's death? Because if you are, leave the call now. You're a scumbag.
It's a completely avoidable situation. It's a completely avoidable fucking situation.
No, it's not.
Completely avoidable.
No, it's not.
And you can. There's no reason why it should happen.
Because
Don
if he doesn't do it now, he's going to do it 6 months from now.
Don is confronted with a situation where he could easily just deal with this and cover for Lane here.
Oh.
Anybody deserves its Lane. Anybody deserves its Lane. Nobody else.
In 6 months, he's going to.
This isn't the first time though, because I mean, Don, when what was it, Sal, the one guy, the gay guy, Don just like cut strings with him immediately. So Don isn't really in the second chances or working with helping someone out situation.
I mean, he's kind of a piece of shit for that too. But
you're blaming Lane's death on Don, and that's incorrect.
I think Don.
He has a small bit
of the blame. He definitely deserves a good chunk of the blame.
Oh, okay. Well, come to Mark Menchaca's house because everybody else is to blame except the person that makes the actual problems.
I think Don like 10 to 15% of the blame.
Give him like 40, 35 around there.
I'll give him 5. Lane wrote the check. Lane lied about the check. Lane tried to defend the check. Don says, "Hey, you gotta go." Wife buys Jaguar. Daddy don't got no money. Daddy tried to kill himself in a different way. Couldn't do it because he bought apparently a piece of shit Jaguar. Glad they're sponsoring that, and then hangs himself from the door. Get out of here. The biggest crime this episode is letting Peggy go. That's bigger than Lane's death. Peggy leaving.
What are we?
He was bad to Peggy this whole season.
Yeah, he was way worse to Peggy than he is to Lane.
Fucking out of
Lane is in financial ruins. He was gonna die in 6 months because he didn't have it. We were literally away from a side mission on one of these episodes where he meets with Russians underneath a bank, and he has to take one of his kidneys out to pay for a loan. Like, we're so close to Lane just being murdered on the street for doing like bookie games. Like, he was about to bet on the World Series.
Lane has been in like a downward spiral ever since his dad whacked him over the head and made him get back with his wife. So
yeah, because he tried to date with a black woman. Like, what are you doing? Get out of here.
I mean, one, from the events of this coming episode, that is clearly wrong. But like, whatever. Things are clearly on the upswing. But whatever. I think we covered it.
One thing I do want to. Do you think that when they designed the offices they knew that this was going to happen? Because they teased a couple times where they've had people peek over the windows to spy on other people in the offices. I know even the last season. So I'm sure they probably think a lot of this stuff ahead. I like to think that they designed that set with that in mind. Or maybe they just thought of it when they were looking around the set. He's like, oh, that'd be kind of cool.
That is an excellent question. Part of me really,
part of me
really wants to say yes.
This was gonna vote for fucking Don Draper for firing somebody over a grenade in the car. That's crazy.
I mean,
They
Don
both-
practically pushed him off
they-
the roof of the building.
They both caused a death. I will just say that.
Yeah, Blaine's actions were fucking without blame. It was fucking.
I mean, to be fair, Shane thought he was trying to help Lem. So,
Are we episode 13? You want to go there?
Yeah, we covered
This
it.
will
We
be,
got,
this will be a 4-hour episode. We keep going with your dumbass takes.
I mean, it was a great episode that we ended up going on a weird tangent about whether or not Lane's a good
We
at
didn't
his
even
job
talk
or
about
whatever.
how Glenn is probably going to be crushing on Megan now.
Or,
Listen, if we've learned anything about
and his
Glenn,
pedo stash.
if we learned anything about Glenn, he clearly has a type.
I do
Megan is
love
that
it.
is true.
You have a mustache. I don't like it. Fucking Sally, just like I don't like it. Also, does Don know what his son looks like?
Don has a son?
Dude, but we never fucking see him. Don never sees his son.
And
Ever.
that poor kid had to miss Wild Wild West to go on some stupid ski trip.
Yeah. Fuck mom. Let's get the fuck out of this bitch.
Okay. No. Yeah, good stuff from Glenn Sally. That was a fun part of the episode. I didn't attempt to just not screw up your time codes that much. Let's just go into episode 13, The Phantom. All right, yeah, Don is dealing with a toothache pretty much throughout this episode. He's also seeing his dead brother throughout this episode, who also hanged himself. So, we
Sounds like a guilty conscience.
I mean, you're the one who said it, Matt, and not me. Anyway, going on, Megan feeling bad about her acting career. She got Reel sent back to her, but she believes they're trying to sell her some classes. So she's starting to see that kind of go a bit on the downturn. Pete runs into Beth and her husband on the train. Said she's going to be taking a trip going to her sister's. So he then tries to talk to her there and kind of makes a weird. What was that, like her scarf or something? He made that weird grasp.
He grabs her scarf and just feels it go through his hands as she's walking away.
Don't
I
worry,
couldn't tell
he
if
gets
that was
better.
her or someone else. Anyway, Dawn. Oh, yeah, we got that. Yeah, the group does have a bad Topaz meeting. They are starting to feel the effects of losing Peggy because they then went out and said, yeah, we never had to do research for Topaz. We always had Peggy. So, they're going to have to try at least reevaluate how they handle some of these companies without her. Pete then gets a call from Beth saying that she wants to meet him at the hotel that he wanted to meet her at before, saying this will probably be their last chance. Pete is not really having it. He's still pretty upset about getting stood up from before. We see Peggy acclimating her new job at CGC, kind of doing her best Dawn impression by yelling at her subordinates as Ted brings in that lady cigarette company that we saw from before, and she's going to try to sell that.
Do you smoke? I don't. You do. You do now. Let's figure it out.
We then go to the partners meeting where things, what do you know? They're looking really good finance-wise. Everybody is getting their ads in. So, they're getting commissions from all in. The Mohawk strike is over. So they are getting flush with cash. They have their best quarter yet. And according to Joan, the next quarter is looking pretty good. It's almost if somebody set them up for success. But, it could be nobody,
Yeah, they don't have to pay a partner's salary anymore.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so Pete is in getting a little bit frustrated in the meeting. He's like, "Are we done yet, or whatever?" Don, I'll give you my proxy. I'm getting out of here because he's feeling a little bit horny. Don was a little bit bewildered, and he throws a, "I didn't know we could do that."
We could do that. That was the best plan.
Pete, of course, meets up with Beth. She confesses that she will be undergoing some shock treatment to treat her depression because this is the 60s. This is the only way we knew how to deal with depression back then.
Lobotomy, everybody! Live, laugh, lobotomy. Let's go.
Said there's always a bit of a fog, so she'll probably won't remember him, and she wanted to have one last good night. And Pete is like, "Yeah, it's good enough for me. Let's just go ahead and do this." So they spend the night there. They have sex, and they kind of share some thoughts about how like she was always dealing with depression, and honestly, kind of made the assumption that Pete was also dealing with his own depression because she kind of saw a little bit of herself in him.
Was that your
He
one?
is. He's just not dealing with it.
Were you going to try to hook us with Pete being depressed so that we should give him a little bit of grace?
I mean, we'll get
You'd
there.
be the person if Don made Pete kill himself. You'd be like, guys, listen, Pete died, and that's Don's fault. Like, no, like.
I mean, Pete's had to hold on to that secret for a long time. I mean, like, we don't know how that's going to play out.
Oh
so.
my gosh! Get the fuck
It's causing him
outta
to
here.
drift away from his wife and his child.
Just call him
Alright.
fucking Whitman and move on. Like, what the fuck?
We then get one of Megan's friends. She came over to look over some want ads, and she's like, "Hey, there's this company called Butler Shoes. I know Don does the ad work for them. It'd be kind of cool if you can kind of mention my name, maybe give me some work in that way." And he's like, "I don't know if Don's gonna go for that. I'll give it a shot though. I'll throw your name out there." All right, thanks. Let's keep looking this over. And Don comes home. And I guess Megan, over the course of that, thought, man, I mean, why don't I just fucking do that? Yeah, she just goes ahead and asks Don's like, hey, that Butler Shoes, they're doing that. They wanted somebody European looking, you know, I'm your girl. And then Don is like, sounds like a terrible idea. I don't want to have put in that situation, ask for my wife to get a job. Also, Stan and Ginsburg are going to be on set every day. Have you thought about that? Seeing them, he's like, "Oh, you can never do shit for me," and they get in an argument about that. It's like, trust me, you don't want to do it this way. And Megan then gets upset about Don not doing stuff for her. She's also been dealing with some crank calls throughout the day, but it turns out it was Roger who was trying to get in touch with her mother for reasons. Roger just really wanted to see good old Marie again, and she agrees to go out on a date with him.
Suck.
Stalk.
Joan does meet with Don to discuss all the profit they're seeing. She's like, or because they were discussing about getting a new office space since the company that was a floor above them has taken off. She's like, yeah, I know I wanted to table the discussion, but I just keep opening the mail and I just keep finding more money. And we got this insurance benefit for what happened to Lane. It's $175,000. What should we do with it? It's like, well, what did he pay to get us going? Oh, he paid 50,000. All right, why don't we just give that to his wife? So they decide to give him 50,000 for what he put in for Lucky Strike. He goes to deliver the check, and the wife is not ready to receive condolences from the company. He still very much blames everybody there for what happened to Lane. So Don then has to kind of slink out of there, even though he gave her a check for $50,000.
I mean, Don probably put the life insurance policy on Lane and then put the rope in his office. So it's all coming together now.
I mean, if you're Mark Menchaca, you believe that full force.
He probably voted for the life insurance part in a partnership meeting.
I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
Was that before or after the other partner said Joan should be a prostitute? Which one was that?
He probably did it in mind of killing Pete.
I mean, he didn't think that far ahead, but we're just gonna say that I think maybe a little bit of blame to throw in, a little bit more to throw in Don the corner.
He definitely benefited from Lane's death.
100%. And then go Don. Oh yeah, Don's unsure how to deal with Megan because she's being all sad and she's getting all drunk at the apartment because Don won't get the part for her. And then he sees Marie and pretty much kind of tells Don, yeah, she's just not cut out for this. She just doesn't have the artistic temperament. So she's probably going to be destined to fail at this. Get what you want. Pete then visits Beth in the hospital, and she does not remember him. She's clearly already gone through the treatment. and then kind of tells her that he's there to see
Welcome to the 60s.
he's there to see his friend, like who, kind of dealing with at least not being happy with his life and thinking that he needs something. Turns out is not this. So like Pete is very much not really dealing with his own stuff. Kind of even though like he has a family and stuff, still not 100% happy, and kind of use that as a way to kind of say his goodbyes to this woman. So that is the last we will see of Beth. Uh, Dawn then runs into Peggy at the movie theater.
Spoiler. Oh,
Man,
Or is it? Bum, bum, bum.
she's barely in this season. I mean, they exchange pleasantries and talk about the Lady Cigarette Company and kind of how Don said that he was proud of her for everything she's doing. Pete then runs into Beth's husband on the train. He's like, "Hey, why don't you just get off at Harrison? We can have a good time." And then Pete's like, "No, you fucking disgust me. You sent it over to fry her brain. You should go to hell." And he's like, "Oh, you're the one who fucked my wife." And then they get into a little bit of a tussle where, what do you know? Pete gets his ass kicked again, and where the train conductor comes on, breaks him up. Say, "All right, you're gonna take 5 minutes. You're gonna go apologize. You see each other every day. We just can't have this. Like, I'm not apologizing to that fucking asshole." And then Pete calls him like a ticket boy or whatever. Like, kind of gets the conductor all pissed, and then the conductor just starts wailing on him. Pete gets his ass kicked by that guy. He's all right. You're getting the hell off the train, getting off at Harrison. And so I guess Pete is. I mean, it didn't say he was kicked off the commuter train, but it seems like he's kicked off the commuter train.
If we did a good guy of the week, that train employee would probably be a good candidate this week.
100%.
So he then comes home. Trudy throws some veiled comments. "Oh, did you get into another car accident?" It's like, "No, I didn't get into another car accident. I just fell asleep with a wheel, and that's why I got bruises all about my face. It's not that I just got my ass kicked completely." And then Trudy was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of seeing you come home like this. First thing in the morning, we're going to the city. We're gonna get you an apartment, so we don't have to worry about this, and I don't have to worry about you, coming home safe again." And even though Pete got exactly what he wants, we do see kind of a bit of a sullen look on his face. Is not like Pete is just in a situation, doesn't know what the hell he wants. Dawn
That's
is
not
then
going to go well. That's not going to go well.
Dawn then sitting watching Megan's audition from the Butler's Shoes. We do see that he does use his influence to get her that commercial job, and does that at a desperate attempt to kind of make her happy with him. We also, I guess, oh yeah, missed over that part. We also see the partners rent out that floor above them, so they're going to have more office space going into next season.
And it's a beautiful shot with all of them just standing there from behind, and it's just a beautiful shot. Yeah,
looks awesome. Didn't want to bury the lead there. After leaving Megan there, we see Don go to a bar as we hear "You Only Live Twice" play in the background. And of course, Don is at the bar and he gets flirted on by a couple of young, gorgeous women, teasing the possible return of Dirty Dick Don, as we then get into the end of season 5 and the end of The Shadow.
yeah, solid episode. I think it's probably out of these 3 episodes, I think this might be the weakest episode of the 3, but I still really liked a lot of it. I don't know who's worse, Megan's friend for putting her in that situation, or Megan for just ignoring her completely and trying to get the role for herself. I could have done without the whole Pete and that girl stuff, but it ends with Pete getting his ass kicked, so I guess it's worth it in the long run. And yeah, that ending where Don pretty much had to help Megan kind of get her way to keep her happy for his relationship, but then that kind of does something to him, and you see him go to the bar there, and who knows what's going to happen now.
I mean, he already crushed somebody's dream, and they ended up killing themselves. So he doesn't want that to happen again.
Is it called what'd you call it? The Ghost? Is it the Phantom or the Ghost?
It's
the Phantom.
Okay.
Hey,
No, I think I think it lost steam at the end, but I think it had to overall because I think the first 2 episodes are just. It was great to settle up and tie the knots for the next season, so I think it worked fine. But no, overall, really good season. Yeah, this one's going to be really interesting when we decide on votes and stuff. Like, we're kind of crazy. It's my turn. Oh yeah, I really want to fucking go here. Don't worry, guys. I know we're almost 2 hours and we haven't even started about to talk about the Sopranos, but let me tell you, I will make the first episode really quick.
Episode of the night right here.
Season 5, episode 11, test stream. Skip the episode. I swear to God, this episode sucks. This is like an 8.4 on not Letterboxd, on IMDb. Those people need to be put in a mental institution. They take a playbook out of Lane for me, okay? Because geez, I am so bored to tears. Annette Bening shows up. We got a bunch of dead people from the previous seasons.
But before you do the dream, though, it starts off strong with Tony and his mistress, where she catches herself on fire trying to cook him some meat after he tells her not to cook him anything.
Yeah, I don't care. But yes, he's sleeping with this woman. She ends up burning herself alive. Tony B meets with the Carmine Jr.'s family again. They're offering another hit. It's for Paul Vincent or whatever. Paul Vincent. Basically, that's who they wanted to take out for the money. And after he tells him they pay him, the same guy that offers him the money gets stopped by Paul and his brother. They put him in the back of a car, shoot him basically, and kill him. That's the last basic important thing that really happens. You get so many different dream sequences. You get Tony on a horse. You get dinner with Annette Bening and his old thing, and they're teeth. I think there's teeth fall.
Yeah, he's losing teeth a lot.
Losing teeth. Tony is banging this girl while Artie is next to him and talking to him during the sex.
I think it was Artie's wife, wasn't it? Or
probably. Yeah, probably Artie's wife.
All the dead people make appearances.
Every dead person shows up. He's in the bed with this one woman because she comes up and it wakes up and it's Carmine and talking about oh, don't tell him I'm here. He's blacking out on the phone. He's having a therapy session with his old the girl that killed herself.
Yeah.
He's in the car with his dad, and his dad is oh, hey dad, listen, and pushing in the car.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to turn off an episode more than this episode. It is horrible. I hate the dream episodes in general. This is a full one. It has no real context besides that we hear that Tony Tony B is going to take out that guy, and Paul Vincent takes out the other guy. That's the only thing that adds any weight to this entire thing. Mark, you're looking at me like I just smacked your mother in the face in front of you. So why don't you tell me your favorite parts? Was it the horse? Was it Artie fucking cucking next to Tony while he's banging his wife? What dreams? Annette Bening and the teeth keep coming out. What the suicide broad sitting there doing therapy with Tony? Tell me what you like. Go ahead.
I mean, listen. This episode's not that bad. I'm not gonna have you just completely just drill this episode.
It's horrible.
Does it have? I'm not going to completely go on the side that it doesn't have its intellectual jerk off moments. It definitely does. But I do like how we get to that part where he sees Tony B right before, the day before, after when he hears about Angelo, and you just kind of feel it. He feels that there's something off about it. He knows that he's kind of acting squirrely, and just in the back of his head, he knows he's going to act on Phil at some point. And that dream then leads into him seeing every person that he's pretty much had to kill, or he's had some type of thing with them to where like he feels guilty. Which again, looked it up. You just got to make sure the whole teeth thing does fit. So it's usually a sign of anxiety and loss of control, which very much is what Tony is going through. So yeah, I do kind of like how that entire dream sequence is him kind of coming to terms with the fact that he is going to have to probably make a final solution on Tony B at some point. And it's about him coming to grips with that and not wanting to do it, but him knowing that he has to. And of course,
did we need 50 minutes of that?
Or if
Probably
you're
not.
gonna do it, maybe take care of him in that episode and not like 2 episodes later.
I don't know. There is something about me liking that he knows it's gonna come. Him dealing with that, and of course, right after he wakes up, he hears that okay, yeah, Tony B went to go try to kill Phil Leotardo, and he ultimately did kill his brother. I think it does work at least as a solid episode. I don't think it's nearly as bad as you guys are making it out to be.
Matt, go ahead. I really have nothing else to add. I'm normally on this show incorrect. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning more towards Cody's side on this one. Which this is the Sopranos. I've never really liked any of the dream stuff. The episode with Big Pussy, the dreams kind of work in that one. I don't hate that episode, but yeah, and it's just this whole episode. Like if they would have done like maybe like 10-minute dream sequence or something like that in the episode, and then the rest of it's like a regular episode or something maybe, but it's just too much. It's like they had this extra episode they needed to fill up with content. It's like, oh, okay, we'll bring everyone back and stuff. It'll be fun. And yeah, I mean, but it's just fluff.
I mean, I didn't expect to be the one to. God damn it, keep dropping. I didn't expect to be the
No,
one
you definitely
to defend it. I'm not the biggest fan of these dream sequences either, but like I don't think this is like just the worst fucking thing the show has done.
Mark,
I don't even think you guys believe that because I know you guys hate that fucking band.
Getting rid of Furio is the worst thing the show has ever done. But
Mark, you have literally watched sports your entire life. Walking into this episode thinking that you weren't the one that was going to have to defend this is you like turning on Sunday football and think, you know what? I think the Panthers are probably going to beat the Bills this week. I think they got a shot. You know that's not fucking happening. You know that you're the one that's going to have to defend this because when episodes suck, you literally are like, guys, what you know? It's good. It's not that bad. Look, at least they had like you're the guy that we're all sitting around a dinner table and the food sucks, and you're like, well, at least there's cheese on it. Am I right, guys? Like it's got cheese. Like the fuck. You're the same guy ever. The only time you're never that guy is if they're singing and dancing.
I mean, I think we agree that's bullshit.
Oh, that would have made the episode much worse if there was like a musical number in one of his dreams.
Yeah,
I mean,
like Tony just walking down the steps and just doing a vaudeville, like fucking money.
Probably wouldn't have said it.
Okay.
No, we got it. I think it fits.
To you.
It fits.
At least the next 2 episodes are really good. So
I will say that the next 2 episodes do build off of elements of the dreams, but still not the whole episode.
Long-term parking. Wonder what that means. We'll talk. Episode starts. Adriana, the FBI are looking at a surveillance tape of Adriana throwing something in the trash, covering up, getting it back out of the trash, putting in the car. So they feel like they've got some evidence. Adriana goes to the doctor, tries to figure out what's wrong with her. There's a lot wrong with her. Tony and Carmela sit on the couch, and Tony's like, hey, I come to grips, like, when I lived here, my activities weren't the best. Like, I did some bad things. I know that, Carmela. And it's like, yeah, a lot of things would have to change if you were to move back here. And he says the term if you moved back here. Paul is sitting there at the dinner. It's again really bad. It's shot like a dream sequence. It is shot like one of the dream sequences. But Tony B is walking down. It's off angle, it's side angle, all this stuff. He ends up walking down. He ends up killing Vincent's brother, Paul's brother, and leaves him for dead. We get it where he's just sitting there staring off while like he's at a store. Carmine Jr. and the rest of them are sitting down there like, what the fuck? Like he hit the wrong guy. Like, but if we don't, we need to stop this, or we're gonna have more problems. And he's like, if we stop now, like no one's gonna respect like anything we do. Like we have to do something different. Like we have to keep going, basically. So they have that entire discussion. Tony and Tony's at the club with Adriana and them. Tony sees Christopher drinking. He's like, I can have a drink. I can have a cocktail every now and then, but there's not a real exchange. Tony and Adriana have like a little heart to heart moment, like invite you over family dinner, kind of like to clear the air between all of them. Then there's a sit down. It was right before then the sit down with Paul, Johnny Sachs, Tony, Christopher's there, Silvio's there, basically, and Paul is not having any of it. Paul is literally like from Jump Street. He's like, Tony sits down. He's like, first of all, he's like, I'm sorry, and he's like, we're also. And then he tells him the biggest sorries and stick him up his ass. He's like, whoa, now you're being disrespectful. Like, now you're being cross. He doesn't give a fuck. Basically, we want Christopher. Like, we want your brother. Like, we want Tony B. Like, we're not settling for anything less. We want Tony B. And that will be the only case. But Tony's having grips of not wanting to give up. A body flushes up on the shore. They find it. Carmela and Tony have dinner and talk about moving back in together and figuring out their situation. And they share a kiss. She wants to buy this piece of like realtor, like $600,000 place of land. So it's like, fine, I guess that will work.
Good negotiation.
Yeah, right. And then Christopher and Tony meet in the bathroom, and basically there's been calls about tobacco and alcohol or whatever the selling. They're investigating shit on his thing, and Christopher's supposed to be taking care of it. So he's trying to figure out. He's gonna put Christopher on it to basically thing, and he's like, from now on, Paulie surveys the entire cigarette run. Like, you guys are connected, and he doesn't like that, so he ends up throwing it. Christopher talks to Adriana and is like, I'm fucking sick of Tony. I don't want to do this fucking shit anymore. They're looking at more surveillance tape of the situation. The burn girl from the dream sequence is getting admitted, and then Tony's like, you look good, you look fine. Oh, like it's short hair, like you're fine. Hey, by the way, all your medical bills and stuff will be taken care of. And he's like, I gotta tell you some stuff. And it's like, are you really gonna end it with me right now after all this? I'm like, hey, I told you, like, after me cooking meal for you, I'm getting back with my wife. You're selfish, blah blah blah. And then he takes a phone call. He's like, like basically fucks off. But he ends up calling Tony B, but he doesn't. And Tony B doesn't talk while he's on the other line of it. Adriana gets picked up by the FBI. Tony moves back in. AJ kind of helps him with all the stuff. They're sitting there having a funny dinner. It's like, that's fucking weird. It is fucking weird. Like, all this shit. Like, so it's pretty funny how that all, like, they have a champagne moment. Like, it's just a fucking weird overall sequence. But Carmela's growing used to, like, him being home and like doing dishes. She's like kind of happy about this whole situation. They play the tape in front of Adriana. Adriana's like, "What happened?" She basically tells an entire sequence of what happened of them killing a guy inside the club, owed him money. Ends up he walking in. She had no idea about it, but she ends up removing and throwing the knife away. And he's like, "You need to work with us. I need you to have a fucking wire on Tony and Christopher. Like, this is it. Like, there's no other way around it. This is what's happening." Steve starts panicking. She's like, "I'm telling you the truth." Tony and her like hook up and do something. Adriana's crying. She wants her lawyer, but she doesn't have a lawyer, so she can't really get anything with it. Um, Tony gets a phone call from what's it called? Carmine is out of the family. Like he dropped and they were only going to show it's just Johnny Sack. I think it's a walnut. Oh no, somebody's like, he dead? Like, no, no. He just said somebody said him worked out a deal with him and Johnny. Christopher and Adriana sit there and have a conversation. He's like, "Hey," and she thinks she can get Christopher to flip on Tony because of the situation. She ends up telling him like this situation ends up choking her, like beating the shit out of her, right to the brink of death, basically. So she doesn't overall take it well. And then Tony B calls Tony, and they have a whole overall conversation about like not taking that. She's like, "Don't worry, I'm taking care of your kids. Like they're fine." And then he kind of owns up for something. He's like, "I didn't get the story he's been telling for this long about him, why he went down and he didn't." He's like, "I got in a fight with my mother and I passed out. Like nothing really ever happened. Like I didn't want you to know about it. So this is why you've been doing all this stuff for me." Yes. Basically, we get some truth on that. Tony, Christopher is agreeing to go with Adriana, basically, but he has to go out and get some stuff. Adriana calls the FBI and she's like, "He's going with us. Like they've agreed. Like there's no problem. Like we're good." Christopher's out in gas and he's seeing like the kids and stuff, and he's like, kind of having the overall thoughts. Tony calls from a payphone to Adriana and says, Christopher had a panic, like suicidal thoughts, like he's in care. Silvio's coming to pick you up, like meet you at the hospital. He's going to be okay. Like, it is what it is. So he waits around. He ends up driving. They hit this. I don't know what the song is. Really good song. But it's playing while Hearst is just driving. Then it basically pans over to her in the car. Same music playing, but Sylvia's driving towards the like, and she keeps looking at the forest. Like I think she knows, but like she doesn't know. Like I don't know how much she knows at the moment, but I think the way they're showing is like Silvio's trying to do his best. Like he's gonna be fine. Chris is a good guy. He's gonna be cool. Like they turn off the end ramp. He keeps looking out, seeing the car. He pulls off into the side. She tries to get out of the car, like on the other side, and tries to see. He ends up pulling her out, and boom, Adriana is dead. They killed her. So Christopher packs up a bag of Adriana's stuff, drives out to the middle where it throws the fucking suitcase out, and then drives the car and parks it at the bus or airport or one of the travel places, and leaves it. Johnny Sachs meets with Tony and goes, "This is the last time we're meeting out here. It's undignified." I'm like, "All right, what the fuck does that mean?" He's like, "His cousin, where's the word? You know him?" And he's like, "Hey, if I give it to you, let me handle it. I'll handle it myself." He's like, "Not gonna happen." Okay, if that's not the case, I want it to be peace. I want to be quick. Like, take him out quick, no issues about it. That's a no to like Paul's gonna do it and it's gonna be his way or however. It's like, here's undignified. How about stick it up your fucking ass? All right? Like we're not fucking doing this. Go fuck yourself. Like I'm good. He ends up driving away. Christopher takes H. He's like, "What? I took some H. I missed her. I loved her." Tony beats the shit out of him. Like, no question that. Like, you fucking idiot. FBI sits there and they're sitting there talking about Adriana's like, well, what if she comes back? What if she flees? And they just like give her a look and be like, she's gone. Like she's dead. Like, and they're like, and they switch topics real fast. So like, hey, well, there goes the lead. Everything about it gone. But she's just not settling well with it. This is the part I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to know or whatever. But Tony's walking through the field of the new property. Is that where they took out Adriana? I don't think so.
I
But
don't
it
think
like
so.
it
No,
like he's
no.
given like the cinematic like looking around. I don't know. But
That
I
would
didn't
be a
think
kind
so.
of a poor place to do it,
I
like your
agree,
wife's.
but it seemed. I can't say it's like, but he keeps like looking around and stuff. I don't know if it's like this could be my out. This is what I
Mm,
like. How do I get out of this or
mm.
not? But it just seemed a little weird on the note. So, um, but that's the episode of Long Term Parking. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's a great episode. I mean, unfortunately for Adriana, I don't think it could have gone any other way. She just got unlucky and get put in a really bad situation. Um, when Tony called her, did you at all for any second believe that Christopher got in an accident, or did you just like, no, oh, she's done, and she's gone?
No, the moment I saw him on a payphone,
Oh, yeah.
I knew it was over for Adriana. Like because we just saw Christopher outside the gas station, so it was just
Yeah,
like a weird sequence to call right away. But I didn't know how much time had passed.
yeah.
And then I was like, if he calls her from anywhere else, but the first thing I noticed, the first thing I made note of is, oh, he's coming from a
PayPal.
payphone. Like it's 100% like Tony's killing her. So
I like to believe that Christopher was actually thinking about it briefly, but then when he sees that family with all the kids and the dad just looks so beat down and defeated by life, he's like, that's not a life for me. I'm
yeah,
a made man. But
yeah,
yeah, great.
he wasn't having it.
Great episode.
I mean, I go back and forth. I'll tell you one. I do not go back and forth at all on whether or not she knew. She 100% knew that. I don't think about that. I go back and forth a little bit on whether or not I think he wanted to do it from the very beginning, or at least from when he left his apartment. If he knew he was just going to go straight to Tony or not. I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to think at least a little bit that, maybe a little of Christopher's humanity would have kicked in. Just it would have taken seeing the family at the gas station. I don't know. They can go either way on that one. But yeah, I think in general, this season has been a bit of a step back, at least for The Sopranos for me. But where they've done a really good job for this one is just how we just feel this slow squeeze throughout the entire season with pretty much everything that's going on with Tony B, with Adriana, with everything that's going down in New York. Just everything is coming to a head, and we're now feeling all the pressure and all the anxiety at the right moment. And they're also just smart just to throw in, even though like because Tony's dealing with all his own stuff, Tony B and New York, and just to throw this Adriana stuff on top of that is just brilliant. We then get probably some of the best acting I think we've seen of this season, especially in that in the part where Adriana finally tells Christopher the truth, and we probably see some of the best stuff from Imperioli and definitely stuff from Drea De Matteo in the show. Yeah, just it is definitely this is a week that is I feel like he's made a statement on big deaths for their shows, and honestly, probably just big deaths in general for just TV. I and this one is no different. It's fantastic. It's honestly, it might be my favorite episode of Sopranos. I like this episode quite a bit. I think it is definitely up there, just in terms of how the build is and how perfectly they set it up for this episode.
The only thing I wish is that we could have seen the scene of Christopher going to Tony and telling Tony, but I guess that takes away from the whole surprise, I guess, even though you know what's happening. But
I guess so. Like, part of me wanted to believe a little bit because Christopher has done at least some of this shit before. I can believe it a little bit,
no,
but I mean that kind of goes away once you see Still driving the car, and it's like, I know what's going on. Like, they're not going to the fucking hospital, and like, she knows it. The more they're driving, the more she's seeing the woods, and like, I mean, get fucking buried out here. It's over. Christopher fucking he dropped the dime on me. Like, like it just. And of course, like, the dumb FBI lady thinking, "Oh shit, we must be in China by now." I was like, "Yeah, whatever, lady. Like, no, no, no. Who the fuck do you think we've been after for the last like 3 years? Like, what do you mean? Like, she fucking made it to China? It's stupid."
Yeah. All right. Final one. All due respect. Basically starts with Paul identifying the body of his brother. Tony B banging a girl at his like hideaway house. And then Paul going to Christopher's house, running into his mother, and like looking for Christopher. Basically, Paul's not stopping. If you're not going to give him this, Christopher's up. That's basically how he's looking at it. 6 jumpsuit from Tony. He's got this nice little black and red jumpsuit that he's rocking. Him moving in and them talking about AJ. He's like, why can't you be like the gardener's son? He's like, yeah, poverty makes you strong. Makes you strong. So they overall have a whole conversation. But they coming out to talk about plans for the house. Him and Carmela and her dad and people are going to help build the house. Carmela calls Christopher. Thinks Tony's calling him, but he's calling Christopher, and basically says, has to break the news. I haven't seen Adriana in a while. We broke up. She left, and all this stuff. So it was like this pretty. Carmela's like, oh, anything I can do? Nope, not off the top of my head. Nothing to think of. One of the informants for the FBI is sitting there talking to. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's basically informant. But they asked any questions like, "Have you heard anything about, Christopher, Adriana, anything?" No, I heard she skipped town, so they don't really have anything. They have a whole dinner planned for one of the guys' parties. Tony stops by. Basically, he can't stay, but he breaks the news and says, "I'm not giving up my cousin. Like, I would do that for anybody here. Like, I'm not doing it." So together we'll be strong. If you stand with me, like that's what happens. But they kind of leave a bunch of on the face, like, I don't agree with your 100% decision here. Like this seems a little weird. So I think that was very mindful. To keep in mind. Tony ends up watching like a history documentary on like, I think it was Hitler. I wasn't sure. But it seemed like Nazi something. I'm not sure, or some sort of military leader. Um, Basically, I've have all these people that go follow him into the brink of everything. So it gives like Tony like overall thought. Christopher's like hiding out, got glasses on in this car, and he's like, and Sylvia like stops him and he's like, it's really crazy that he lets Christopher get lets Tony B get away with all this shit, like overall family and stuff like that. And Tony and Sylvia drops the thing and goes, I could think of a couple of things, Chrissy, that you just got out of, like, if you really want to know. So he kind of leaves him alone. One of the best acting scenes that I remember, Silvio and Tony have a sit down. He's like, Tony, I've been in your consigliere for a while. Couple of the guys upset. Couple of guys mad. They don't think this is right about Christopher, and like you told Johnny Sacks to go fuck himself. I think that's a little bit disrespectful. Like you shouldn't have said it. Like you said you were going to give him to him, then you changed your mind. Like that. And he's like, let me tell you something. Like you've never been the number one. You don't know what the pressure is. All things come to me. So let me just tell you this. Why don't you stay in your own lane and let me deal with my own thing? And then Sylvia's like, anything you need from me before I go? Nope. So basically, Tony's alienate the basic group because of what he's deciding to do with his cousin. one of the drivers that was driving Christopher earlier, Paulie, goes, "Hey, got a question. Where's Silvio?" Stops the driver and ends up beating the fuck out of him, cracking his skull, making a mess. Tony comes in and the room is not really having it either. He's busting jokes and trying to make it right, but the rest of the group is not really laughing at his jokes now. And they're like, "Hey, what really needs to happen is he needs to fucking give up his cousin. That's what needs to happen to let this solve." Tony tries to go get advice from Groucho Marx about what's going on. Junior's not having, doesn't know where he's at, like no clues. Like, but we'll talk to Paul, blah blah blah. What? Like, I'm talking to you. Nothing. No one's home. He's like, all right, it's all right. You can't, don't have it. Another group sits down, talks about the whole overall situation about the cousin, like what the situation is. Like they need to just take out the cousin. Everything's getting tense. Tony sits down with Jennifer. Jennifer basically says, "Do you feel like this guilt towards your cousin? But like we thought we worked through this. Every time you say you did something, you come back and do the exact same thing you've been doing. Like, what's the point of this therapy session? You can't tell me anything. You can't do anything. But like, you don't owe your cousin anything anymore. Like, that's been done." Christopher's running a fucking beer thing at a party, getting $5 pre people paying a bunch of money to him. Tony calls Johnny Sacks, but then hangs up the phone, doesn't really do anything. Tony goes over to Walnut's house. He sees the painting for the first time, and Tony told him to get rid of it. So he's like, "You're a captain." He ends up having a little bit of emotion because he takes the thing out and takes it to the he takes it down and throws it in the trash. Then you see Tony pull into, I think you see Tony, or you see a car pull in. I don't know if you actually know it's Tony at this point. No,
That's
Tony
Tony B
B.
getting back.
Tony B comes home to get like he has groceries. He's got the gun prepared. He walks onto the porch, and all of a sudden, got me. He's carrying the house. He turns, sees Tony, white gloves, shotgun in hand. Turn, pop right to the head, killed him dead. And this awkward, just staring at him, just like looking at him. I'm just thinking the entire time, Tony's subconscious, like how he sees stuff. That's not going to resonate well with him.
We'll see that
And
in a
then
dream somewhere down the line.
And then he calls Tony. He calls Johnny Sacks. He's at Route A, Kenbrook, and hangs up the phone. Like, so see car pull up. See sneaking in, trying to open the door all quiet. Paul. He turns before he gets in there, and he sees him dead, sitting there, just dead on the firewood. They all walk in there. Tony walks in. He's got dinner. Like they all brought him lunch. Everybody's pretty quiet. Doesn't say anything. They all leave. Nothing. Like no one. This doesn't say anything about what happened. I don't know if they know. They don't really say it. Johnny Sacks calls him. He goes, "That's solved." Oh, he said Johnny Sacks called. He sounded angry. He calls him back. He's like, he's at the doctor's office. Like, that doesn't change anything. Like, this doesn't ruin everything. He's like, I understand he wants payback. He wants whatever, but like, he's going to have to find a different way. He can have part of the casino. He can do whatever, but like, this is done. Done is done. He's like, "Well, I'm here all day, so I need you to meet me." He's like, "Nah, I don't think." He's like, "I have an IQ of 136, and let me tell you, I'm not meeting you anywhere." And he's like, "If you think I'm gonna whack you with Jennifer upstairs, like, or whatever's girl's name?" He's like, "Just come and visit." Tony sits there and talks to Christopher for the first time about Adriana, and basically calls her conscience, like, "Oh, she's not good." But did you tell her anything about the death? No. Tony, AJ's on the phone nonstop, calling, talking to people, and he's like, "You didn't do any of those things." Tony walks in, "No allowance." It's all right. I have $300 cash for selling this party. And then he's like, "He told me he wants to invest in event planning and stuff like that." I'm like, it's pretty gay. It's I just laughed a little bit right there. And it was like, of course, that's his answer. And then Tony meets
Johnny Sacks.
Johnny Sacks underneath in the snow, and they end up like having this like let it go. Like, let's figure it out. I think I can sell this. We did this so we can be comfortable with our families, our sons. Like, don't do this. Like this. Like, we need to end this. But he's like, what's going to happen is you're going to kill one of mine. I'm going to kill one of you. Like, it's going to go back and forth, and it will always be this way till whenever. And then they hug, and then Tony sees these two guys with shotguns, like, start running down the snow, and Tony fucking books it. Throws the gun, starts running. FBI, everybody sees in Johnny Sacks. Johnny Sacks to be dumped in the snow, and snow all over his face. And they arrest the gardener. He's like, I'm the gardener. Tony, I don't know like how that dog jumps on Tony. He gets close to a police car walking by. He just sneaks the other way, walks away, goes down to the like river, walks across, ends up calling his lawyer. He's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but like, yeah, you're not mentioned in the indictment like at all. They had the FBI like it was Johnny Sacks had an informant that rigged on him. Basically, it's like, yeah, money laundering, murders, everything, got him all of it.
Not
Jimmy
illegal to park your car
was
there.
he's like, you'll be good. Like, I'm walking out to my house. He's like, call me if I'll hear more. He ends up, and you see him going through the bush and goes into his house, and that's the end of season 5.
I like that they kind of have him like emerging from the woods like the black bear from earlier in the season.
Yeah. I was like, man, if people are still around, you're getting shot, dude, right now. That's how Tony Soprano dies. He gets killed.
But yeah, I mean, it's another good. It's not as strong as the previous episode, but I think it's a really good way to end the season. It kind of ties up the Tony B storyline. I think that was a really good, like a one season story for the most part, and then we'll kind of see what kind of fallout we have with Johnny Sacks getting arrested and all that sort of stuff.
I mean, it's the only way it could have ended. And Tony had known it for basically half the season that he was going to have to kill Tony B. Like, because Johnny never bought it that Tony B didn't have nothing to do with it, and he struggled to do it. Didn't really want to, but yet again, kind of chipped away at Tony's soul again. Had to take him out, is what it is. And funny enough, I kind of like how it almost didn't do anything. They were almost in the same position, but the only reason why it worked is because like fucking Johnny Sacks is just tired of fighting with Tony. He's like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I mean, I just kind of want to like talk to somebody normally again, because like he's also been kind of beaten down by being the leader of the family now. He just kind of wants to confide in Tony, and then that is the moment where just the FBI shows up at his house, like, which I did think is kind of interesting, just because like I think this is part of me like not really getting the first time around, because I didn't really understand the first time, like, oh, like Johnny Sacks is the one with the informant in his crew for the entire season. Like that's the guy who they're talking to. It's like,
Yeah,
so
I didn't
they're
think
gonna
that
get
either.
they're gonna get Johnny Sacks some point, and like Tony kind of had a Stringer Bell moment where they got rid of Adriana, because Adriana was their way of taking down Tony, and Tony just kind of lives to see another day on that one. Like but no, this is it for what I feel like was a bit of a downturn episode, or a bit of a downturn season. I mean, the Sopranos really ends off. It really ends off strong. I think all three, at least for me, like all three of these episodes were pretty strong, especially these last two. Just kind of really ended the season off on a high note.
Matt, did you say anything?
Yeah, no, I think Mark's like nailed it. The season hasn't been the best, but it definitely went out strong these last two episodes.
Okay, we are on to Bad Guy of the Week. Go ahead, Mark. What?
Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do this first and then the season thing, or
do this kill count on season? I think, yeah.
Yes. I think you've been here before.
I don't remember. We've been here for a while. And
I forget bad guy of the week every week. Today I'm not. I didn't forget. I'm on the money.
I mean, I got it. I'm this third time through the show, and it just bugs the ever living fuck out of me that Don just won't give Lane this shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Don. I don't care. We were unanimous last.
Listen, the show just needs to move on. Like, we don't need this anymore.
Oh.
We're good with Don. I'm gonna go with Don this week. I don't care.
Matt,
I
Shane?
mean, as much as I think Shane thinks he's doing the right thing, I still can't forgive his actions, killing poor Lem like that. So I'm gonna have to give it to Shane.
Not only does he do a fucked up, he kills him with a grenade and doesn't kill him right away. He has to live with that pain for like 10 more seconds.
It's
And then has the nerve to apologize while Lem's just there bleeding.
Lane
out.
kills himself by Don pushing him, apparently. Shit, Lane just gets a grenade dropped on him and doesn't know it's coming. Like, that's crazy. So back out of Shane and Don. This will be the last. We have a change going to next when we did the new season. But yes, Matt.
So let me so just do some kill counts here. Sopranos, after 5 seasons, we're up to 59 kills. Pretty good, pretty good. Mad Men, those hanging in there. We got 11 deaths on the Mad Men. And over in The Shield, we're up to 185 kills on The Shield. So
Sounds about right.
it's still anybody's race.
Yeah, anybody's. Okay, so hold on 1 second while I do some calculations. We're gonna start like we always do. We're gonna start with The Shield. Matt, go ahead and give what you think.
I mean, this season did have a couple of little side cases and stuff that I didn't think were the strongest, but overall, the main story of Kavanaugh versus the strike team is just phenomenal all throughout the season. Forrest Whitaker has been amazing on the show this year, and just these last couple episodes alone, this is a 5-star season for me.
5-star season.
5 stars.
Wow. Go ahead, Mark.
I think kind of like Matt said, I do think like there are definitely bits where like the procedural aspect of this show, especially like Dutch and Claudette, does kind of irk me just because it feels like we're kind of taking bits away from the show. It does. I do think they get in some really good stuff. They do make a number of their side characters the most interesting they've ever been, and their main story is very good. It is. I think it's perfectly told, perfectly written. I think I'm kind of glad that I don't know if the 11 episode thing was their choice or whatever. Whatever they did, like it. The story is told exactly how it should have been told. It is by far the best episode of The Shield, or the best season of The Shield. It's definitely one of the best ones I think we talked about this season. I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's really close for 5, but I think I'm gonna stick with 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's very, very good.
So you're at 5. I'm zooming in nowhere. Where's my zoom in? So you're at 4.5. Matt's at 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was hooked from the get-go. And nothing really changed that. That's gonna mess up everything for me now. But I was hooked from the get-go. I thought the last episode was just hooked me in. Kavanaugh was absolutely the almost best foil that you can add to a show.
Antagonist, yeah.
Yeah, he pissed me off so much. It was crazy. So I think we're at 4.75 based on my calculations. So we'll put it in a second, but that will put it all the way up to Uno, number one.
So you're at 5.2 is what you're saying.
I'm at 5, yes. I'm at 5.
Alright.
I don't think there's anything I can go wrong with this episode this season. Mad Men, Mark, season 5.
I go back and forth all the time what I think is the best season of Mad Men. I go back and forth with whether or not it's season 4 or it's season 5. I'm still not even that sure. I think at least how, again, I just think it's a show that just kind of gets better and better as it goes along and just knows how to build up characters just the right way. And I think this season is a very good example of that. And not only that, its main story builds up to an incredible head this year with The Other Woman and Commission Fees is two of the very best episodes of the show. I'm gonna give it a 5-star. I love season 5 so much.
Trying to think. What did I not like in this season? I don't believe I hated anything. I think the last episode's bland, but I don't think it's like bad. I think the last two are insane. What do we get? Her like him leaving her, Megan leaving, Peggy leaving, Lane leaving.
Had that 2-parter. We had the dinner party episode. We had that 3-year episode where we kind of go from everybody's perspectives. I mean, we had that great episode where they're at the ball
party
at the end.
episode. The party episode.
We had Pete's weird affair with that lady.
That's one of the draws that
we had Pete and driver's ed.
4.5. Thank you so much for bringing this 4.5.
I mean, I just don't like how you bring in Pete and it just like knocks everything down. Like, what the hell is this shit?
I forgot about those 2 moments. They're pretty
We
bad.
had Lane finding that wallet and being all creepy when he called the lady to get the wallet back.
True. Yeah.
Whatever, bullshit.
I think I made a mistake last season because I gave season 4 a 4.0, and I think I like season 4 a little bit better than this one. So I kind of wish I would have given last season a 4.5. So then I could feel good about giving this one a 4.0. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the 4.0. It's some of the stuff I just mentioned. And honestly, Megan, I don't really love Megan. I didn't mind her so much when she was working at the office. But now that she's kind of off trying to become an actress, I feel like every time we go back to her, it's taking us away from like the characters I really want to see. And I feel like that kind of hurts this season a little bit. So I'm going to give it a 4.0.
So 4.0, 4.5, 5. I think the middle ground is 4.5. So that will put it. Is it better than season 3? Or worse? Matt.
It's got the same. I gave season 3 a 5, so I think season 3 is better.
You know where I?
Do you know what I gave it?
You gave it a 4.5, and then Mark gave it a 4.
I mean, you were
so it's got the same scores. It's just flipped.
Much like 5, you were leaning on giving season 3 a 5 until the Matt brought up the lawnmower episode, and you're like, fuck that.
Oh, great, fantastic episode.
That Mark. Well, you would say that 5 is better than 3.
I would absolutely 5 better than 3.
I think we could put 5 above 3. I'm okay with that.
Sopranos, I'm at a 4.0. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. I think the last 2 episodes are the best in the show. But we do a lot of shit I don't care about, and I wish I cared more, especially with Johnny. I think they could have done more with Johnny Sax's like gang and stuff. But I think there's some cool sequences. But we spend a lot of downtime on some dumb shit, and that Dream episode is arguably one of the worst episodes of TV I've ever watched.
I mean, I listen. This is me coming from, like, I don't hate the Dream, but there definitely is.
We know.
There definitely is a number of time. There definitely is a number of episodes here where it does feel like we're just kind of, not that like we're treading water, but we're just kind of like going through stuff like I just don't really feel like we need to go through. Even though a lot of this season sets up like future stuff. Like, where with I know there's a lot of stuff with Vito that we get in there that kind of sets up where we're going to get him with Vito. A lot of the New York drama definitely carries over further. Like, there's a lot of like story building in season 5. It just doesn't feel like it, and it has a really great finisher. I do think it is probably, it's not as good as the last season. I don't think it's as good as season 3. I don't think it's as good as season 2. Like, I'm at a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Oh wow.
It's good. I think the Sopranos kind of has definitely had higher peaks than this one. Even though long-term parking is really good, I just think as a whole, everything else brings it down a bit.
Matt?
I mean, for me, there's a lot of the season I like. I really love the Tony B stuff. I loved him getting out of jail, trying to go straight, and then he just has like one bad day, and it's maybe one bad week, and it kind of all blows up in his face, and then it's just a downward spiral for him after that. And I liked all the guys getting out of jail at the beginning. Fetch, I thought Feach or whatever, I thought he was great at the beginning of the season. I thought that for those few episodes, that was good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it starts off with Tony and Carmela pretty much separated, and then by the end of the season, they're back together again. And pretty much all we got was her having the affair with the guidance counselor, and then you get Christopher kind of retreading water with Tim Daly getting him in the poker game and all that stuff. So, but then the Adriana episode is so great. And then the season finale is pretty good too. So I'm going to give it a 4.0.
That's fair. I mean,
it's close to a 3.5, but overall the highs are so high that it
a 4.0.
Yeah.
I mean, not every moment can be Frank Vincent saying he's going to shove something up inside of Christopher's mother. Like, it can't all be that, unfortunately.
No.
Is it better than Mad Men season 1 and Sopranos season 1?
It's not better than Mad Men season 1, no.
It's not better than Mad Men season 1. I think it's
it can be tied. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's around the same level.
So we have a new number 1. The Shield has now arisen. It first appeared at 5. Now it is all the way up to 1. Nice. So that's where we're at. With the overall list. Next week we will start the show with our normal intro, and then hopefully I will have time to end up working out. If not, we'll just announce basically what we will be doing. But we are starting season 6 next week. That is how many for everything? Because this is when it gets weird. I stay in season 6 for years. You guys leave at some point and go to season 7. So
next week is, at least I got them here, it's 3, 3, 3, and 3 for all 3 shows.
So the first time we're not doing 4, 3, 3. So 3 of each. We'll be back here. Go ahead. Basically, Mark's doing when they do a 2-parter again. So Mark's doing one giant episode and then one separate episode. So should be fun. Can't wait. Yeah, we'll set you next week. Keep watching TV. Fuck movies. You know what I mean? So bye.